according to the tour operator, for a price tag of $650. They will have an overnight experience that is intended to provide a deeper understanding of the tragedy. Now, it was a site, the 1978 Jonestown Massacre. More than 900 people, including hundreds of children, died after Jim Jones. The Reverend Jim Jones ordered them to drink cyanide mixed with a fruit-flavored beverage, which we always thought was Kool-Aid. I don't know, man. This doesn't sound fun.
How about that became just a well-accepted, I don't even know what you call that phrase. Don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Yep. Idiom?
Idiom? That's what I was going to say, but it sounded wrong. That just became a well-accepted idiom. Like, nobody thinks twice about don't drink the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. Like, that was a pretty big tragedy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be something like in jest or a light way of saying something about 9/11, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point we'll do that, by the way. That it will become a punchline.
Yeah, I mean, Titanic became
the Titanic.
one.
I mean, you're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. How many times have you heard that phrase? And you're like, it's a pretty big tragedy that you just use as a throwaway idiom. I do it all the time.
No, and I'll walk into a room and, there'll be people there. I'll be like, man, this place looks like Jonestown.
Yeah, I mean, I guess every tragedy at some point becomes a punchline.
Oh, definitely.
They all do at some point. I mean, we make jokes about Abraham Lincoln getting assassinated, Jonestown, the Titanic. They all become a punchline at some point.
Kevin writes in, says they have Chuck E. Cheese frozen pizza in stores now.
Oh, come on.
Why? Why would you do that? It can't be the actual pizza.
Just letting you know, right there.
I don't think you can be stoned enough to eat that.
Enforcer, I sent you some Auburn players opening up some boxes here today. Look at this.
They got their Nike gear?
The Nike cleats, Nike game shoes, Nike tennis shoes arriving for the players down at Auburn. They got the boxes in, ready to go for the upcoming season.
This is going to be, I mean, this will happen in the future, but I mean, you're going to get all the great gear right now because you're sure day one of being a Nike, they're just going to load you up on that
wouldn't
gear.
you have thought they would have done this day one, though?
I would have, yeah. I was a little surprised. We talked about it day one that they weren't already selling Nike gear, which I was surprised by.
Or at least a little preview or something to build hype for it. They didn't show off any fan gear.
This is what you will be able to get in 20 days or whatever. They didn't even do that.
Or do the 31 days of July, the 31 days of Nike.
Yeah.
That is our trash today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our final thought today is from John Talty at CBS Sports. Talty writes today, the worst hires, everybody's doing 25 because of 25 years of this century. The worst hire or worst hires, and he ranks the 25 worst hires, head coaches in college football in the last 25 years. Now that I don't have the article in front of me. I'm going to pull it up here as we do this free thinking here. Mike Price would be in the conversation.
I was going to say you had to hire him. You had to fire him before he even coached a game.
Chad Morris
at Arkansas
is going to be in the conversation.
Well, most disastrous tenure in SEC history.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
It was.
You keep naming. I'm going to throw Brian Harsin out there to see if he makes the list.
I mean, he did a year and a half at Auburn. Even by Auburn standards, that's quick to fire a coach.
Well, I think in modern Auburn football terms, he goes down as the worst, is he not?
Yeah. Boy, I'm trying to think outside our little bubble right here. Ohio State hasn't really made a bad hire in that time. I mean, Luke Fickell was kind of forced into that situation.
He was a Band-Aid. He was an interim coach.
Yeah, but I mean...
So, you don't put Fickell on that list.
I mean, Rich Rod at Michigan might get on there. Don't know if that's entirely fair.
Well,
but
it's pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad for Rich Rod at Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm just going through, major programs thinking of...
The go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live now, and sit back. We could be here 5-6 hours today. That's how much stuff I have on the sheet to talk about. We'll try to squeeze it into 3 hours as we roll to the show. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Tyler Forrester behind the big glass. Little T still on vacation. Social media still kicking, though. Forrester's got that working over there. Good job yesterday, Forrester, kicking all that stuff out post-game. Horrible job me running the show yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday.
I was going to say, I mean,
horrible.
Yes, you were
I
horrible.
kind of thought it was off, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. What happened, Jim? You not have your stuff?
Well, I do all this prep, right? I do all this prep. And and I have talked for 15 years. Well, not 15 years. Ever since we got tied into these phones, what happens on my phone every day at 9 o'clock?
You get a birthday alert.
I get a birthday alert.
For somebody.
Half of them from people I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
I don't even know them. I don't even know how they got in my phone. I think it was some Facebook click I made one time.
Yep.
And they were Facebook page with me. And it'll pop up. And I'm like, I don't even know who this birthday is.
Uh-huh. Yesterday?
Was Scott Forrester's birthday.
Oh, I wished him happy birthday.
Yeah.
I did too.
I know.
Yeah, Tyler did too.
We should mention it on the show, though. Is my
Happy
point.
birthday, Scott.
My
Yeah,
point.
Scott.
Yesterday,
hey, thanks, guys.
Scott
I had no
Forrester-
idea, Scott, but happy birthday. This is where people have got it like, hey, by the way, it's Scott's birthday.
Well, I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, Scott Forrester, one of the
He didn't. He got the notification at 9 o'clock.
L4, L5 of the spine of this company. He's right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's L3, L4, L5, but he's an important cog in the spine of this company, and we let it slip right through the cracks.
Scott, this is the 3-year anniversary of me ruining your favorite hat, and I've never forgotten that, and I've tried to find a replacement.
I haven't either, Ryan.
I know, and I've tried to find a replacement for it, and I cannot do it.
Was it 3 years ago yesterday?
Yeah, 3 years ago yesterday, yep.
So
or
let's be
4
factual
maybe.
on the show.
Yeah, I guess that was 2022, Scott, that I did that I ruined your favorite hat.
I missed that hat.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
How bad is that chemical to ruin a hat?
I was pretty heavy on it, so we did.
That was the foam
the
spray?
Silly Stream era when we celebrated birthdays with Silly Stream here, and I just hammered the side of Scott's head having fun, and it ruined his hat, Tyler.
You got it too close.
Well, I mean,
That was point blank.
It was point blank. I'm not going to lie. Again, I'm
Right to the
apologizing.
dome.
I am taking full responsibility for this. I'm not trying to make excuses.
Okay,
But it was Scott's hat, huh?
Was it a White Sox hat?
What do you think?
Well,
if you had to guess.
I mean, I would guess yes, and he had to get a new one.
Like a next round hat, I could have gone to our merch closet and easily
Right.
replaced. It was definitely white. That's the only 2 hats Scott wears.
Technically, it was a Barons hat,
Yeah.
but it was very White Sox.
And I went to the Barons game for shortly after that, I guess. We were at Regents Field for something, or Regents Park for something, and I went in the Barons store. That hat cannot be found. I don't think it exists anymore. I've even looked online to try to replace it.
I thought it was your white one that said socks.
No, it was
No.
red.
It was red. Had the White Sox little batter man
we
logo.
probably-
That's what I'm saying. The batter man with
But it says B-Ham underneath
it
the.
said B-ham on it.
We
Okay.
probably have video, right?
Probably
We
it
do.
exists.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it exists. Yeah, that's
every show.
Again,
It's
He's
up,
had bad luck.
980.
He's had bad luck with birthdays up here. That happens, and then another time he gets his whole cheesecake stolen.
Was that the same birthday? Scott?
Cheesecake Gate.
Was that
Yeah.
the same birthday?
No.
Oh, okay,
that
so
would've
that's
been
two.
That was the next year. That was the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably pretty good that we forgot yesterday.
That's true.
Is what I'm hearing here.
Hey, there's a reason. I was trying to keep it on the dome.
What malady did we avoid?
Yeah, we didn't flatten your tires or kick in the balls yesterday. So happy birthday, Scott. We forgot and ended up being a good day for you. Happy birthday to Scott. Hey, happy release day to all you EA Sports College Football Deluxe fans. If you're a commoner, you get it out on July 10th. But if you paid extra, you got the deluxe version yesterday.
Boy, you had to pay extra for 3 days.
Yeah,
huh?
just a couple of things here. 5 coaches.
We're an impatient society.
We
by
really
the way.
are. I'm going to pay extra for 3 days.
$100 extra. Is that what it was for us?
For 3 days?
I think it's like $30 difference.
$30
maybe.
extra.
Okay.
It's $100 to get the deluxe edition.
Okay, so 5 coaches chose to opt out. The coaches are in the game this year. Real coaches,
Right.
images are in the game. So you can coach with Kalen DeBoer. We'll get to those in a second. and you can fire Kalen DeBoer, right? You
Whoa.
You can replace Kalen. We can do whatever you want to Kalen DeBoer.
Can you move? Well,
yeah, I don't know if Kalen, if he leaves, I don't know if Kalen leaves Alabama and goes somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't got the game yet. I'm paid for the.
Okay. So you don't know.
I paid for the Friday release.
Could I move Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss somewhere? You don't know if I can do that.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
But let me know if you've got the deluxe. If I can move coaches. If I can take Lane and he leaves Ole Miss and goes to Auburn for some reason next year.
Okay.
But 5 coaches chose not to be in the game. These are the 5 coaches. One of them, Frank Reich, who I keep forgetting is coaching college.
But he's just an interim.
He's at Stanford.
He's not going to get that job full time.
I doubt it. I mean, look, if they had a special season and went 6-6,
Andrew Luck likes him. Obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got a really good relationship with Luck, so who knows?
Kirk Ferentz said, "I'm not going to be in the game."
That tracks with Kirk Ferentz. It seems like the grumpy thing to do is not be in the game.
But he could have said, "I'll be in the game and I'll donate all the money to the Children's Hospital."
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know, but it's hard to say no to that.
Mario Cristobal not in the game. Surprising.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Bill Belichick not in the game.
Really not surprised by that.
Yep.
Is his girl.
What if Jordan's on the sidelines? She demanded, Bill can't be in the game, but I have got to be calling the
only
plays.
way Bill can be in the game is if I'm always beside him.
Yeah. What if they cut to the sidelines of the game and she's got the play sheet in front of her mouth wearing a headset? That'd be fantastic.
Deion Sanders not in the game.
I can believe that, too.
Okay. But, of course, North Carolina and Colorado do have coaches in the game. Here are the people they put in as the coaches. At North Carolina on the right is Hector Luna.
He's an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
I mean, Hector
Luna.
Hector.
By the way, they played it really safe. If this ever goes to court, they did not make the image look anything like Bill Belichick.
Yep.
Hector Luna. And then Deion Sanders not in the game, but Kirkpatrick is he's the head coach. Doesn't look anything like Deion either. Also notice, as Forrester pointed out, the coaching grades. Deion Sanders, A+. Bill Belichick, B+.
We're going to need to see something from Hector Luna coming over from the NFL.
I'm a little surprised Deion, just from a recruiting angle, didn't have himself on there.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine the money just wasn't enough. He's used to being paid so much for his image. I'd imagine when EA Sports came back, he was like, no.
Yeah, but if you were advising him
$600,
wouldn't you say, hey, look, part of this is all about recruiting?
My 20-something-year-old girlfriend eats $600 appetizers.
I know. No, that's
what also helped the school too, because EA Sports announced that the more a school is played in the game, the more percentage wise of the whole user base that a school is played, they'll pay out the school.
Oh, I like that. To the collective, to the NIL. I'd like that.
There's a lot of people online trying to rally around Kent State now.
Oh, that's funny.
Go play Kent State.
Well, so can you just do simulated games nonstop? Can you leave from work and just put on simulation? If you're an Alabama fan, just let it go Alabama all day?
I assume it would have to be in certain game modes, like online or Dynasty or something like that.
Okay. Now, I want to show you, Forrester has pulled up both Hugh Freeze and DeBoer. Before you put it up, Forrester, we had a debate on, Forrester and I chose opposite of which one we think looks most like the actual head coach.
Well, does Hugh have a golf club? Because if he does, then it's going to help with the likeness, right?
He's got a wedge on his shoulder.
He doesn't. He has a caddy.
There is a visor, though.
Kalen DeBoer and Hugh Freeze actually in the game, and Forrester and I disagreed on which one actually looked more like the coach. Here we go. There's Hugh Freeze on the left, Kalen DeBoer on the right. Before we tell you which one we thought looked more like them,
okay,
Lance, which one looks more like Hugh Freeze or Kalen DeBoer?
I mean, I hate to say that DeBoer looks kind of like me. I mean, you could flip them around, and I don't know. I guess Hugh Freeze.
I don't think DeBoer looks anything like DeBoer.
Then I'm a loser. Then I thought DeBoer looked more like DeBoer.
From a distance, I'm looking for those that don't know how our studio is laid out. I'm furthest from the screen. That looks a lot like Hugh Freeze, but then when I saw it pop up on my screen in front of me, that looks like maybe Hugh Freeze's 30-year younger brother.
Yeah, younger, meaner, older. Is this just this gum that I tried to chew earlier that the Kalen DeBoer looks like me?
I don't think he looks anything like you.
Okay.
I would say it's closer, maybe because of the hoodie and the strings, closer to Josh Pate and then Joel Klatt before I get to you.
I got no Josh Pate there. The hoodie and the strings.
Yeah,
Short sleeve hoodie for Josh Pate, maybe.
Yeah. I just I thought DeBoer looked more like DeBoer than Freeze looked like Freeze.
Okay,
the Freeze nose and his the no cheeks.
Now I don't see any DeBoer.
Freeze looks like fat Kirk Herbstreit.
DeBoer does?
No, Freeze.
No, Freeze.
Freeze. There's a little fat Kirk Herbstreit in there.
I can see that.
Yeah, can you see it, Scotty?
I don't see any DeBoer in DeBoer.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
the hat, the hoodie.
Well, I mean,
To me, Kalen doesn't look anything like Kalen.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, if you
I play this video game a lot. I think Kalen DeBoer is closer in reality than Hugh Freeze
are the
is.
likeness in this better than the likeness of statues?
It's very close.
Yeah.
You mean the Andy Griffith statue that's supposed to be Nick Saban?
Yeah.
So the game's out. Get in the chat room if you already have the deluxe version.
I got feedback.
Who would be the easiest coach to make look like the coach? Because we saw Lane Kiffin a couple of weeks ago, and it looked nothing like Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I was actually just about to pull it up. Can we agree that they both look more like themselves than Kiffin looks like Kiffin?
Kiffin's nowhere close to Kiffin.
Smuff in the chat has a good comparison for the DeBoer model. It's a confused Henry Rollins. I was trying to place it, and that's exactly what it is.
Confused Henry
Rollins. No, he does look confused.
How is he confused? He's standing there.
His eyes are crossed.
He does look a little perplexed.
He's like, Vanderbilt's doing what?
He's a recruiting giant in this game.
Well, I know, but
look, it's a little Hugh Freeze headshot because they can't get him actually standing anywhere. He's on the golf course.
Wow.
Here's a photo.
That is not going to
He
die
can
for
see
you.
all the recruits with those eyes. He's got East and West Coast.
Yeah, I'm more upset that they've got the no-shoulder elephant up there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I thought that should have been retired.
Well, that's Alabama's fault that it's even out there.
If I'm Alabama, man, I'm chasing that down. I'm saying scrub that thing in the reboot.
Well, they got like 3 different logos just in that one image.
I know.
I mean, come on. That no-shoulder elephant should be
burned.
Can
I please see Sam Pittman?
Yeah, do we?
Because they make these guys overweight, every one of them. So how big is Sam Pittman?
That's true.
I mean, they really do. All these guys are thick.
Okay, Forrester, work on Sam Pittman
I'll see if I can track that down.
All right, chat room response, and we'll get into the developing news after I tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is Storm Restoration Roofing. And listen, I got a special message from Greg this morning. If you have called, texted, or done anything in the last couple of days with Storm Restoration Roofing, if you tried to reach out for that free no-cost roof inspection, as I told you yesterday, Greg had a death in his family, his immediate family there, and they've been dealing with that. And involved is the baby of Jessica, who one of Greg's daughter, who actually is an integral part of Storm Restoration Roofing. They lost a baby, and the ceremony was yesterday, and Greg wanted me to let you know that a lot of you have reached out. He's so thankful for the TNR family. He appreciates you guys reaching out. But in the process of everyone reaching out, some of you that may have reached out for a free no-cost roof inspection or something over the last 2 or 3 days may be lost in the 100 of text messages and phone messages that he's received. So he wants you that if you today would just re-text him and say, hey, I had reached out about a roof. He doesn't want to lose anybody during this period that may have reached out over the last 2 or 3 days. If that makes sense at all, just reach out one more time to Greg and Storm Restoration Roofing. He said a lot of you had, and just with the thoughts and prayers that so many of you have sent to Greg, he just wants you to know he's thankful, the family's thankful, but he doesn't want to miss anybody who's also reaching out for any roof repairs or no-cost inspection. So there's the number again, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. A+ rated that free no-cost roof inspection. The show also being brought to you today by our friends Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys.
Yeah, Shunnarah.com. You do not pay a dime unless they win your case at Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, Shunnarah.com. Alexander Shunnarah is a national firm, but they are headquartered right here in Birmingham. 24 years they've been here. This is Alexander's community. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
All right, Forrester has Sam Pittman of EA Sports in the game. Pop it up for us, Forrester. There we go.
I mean, so we're
kind of sad.
I mean, it really is.
I mean, what do the guys that designed this really do? I mean,
it must be
I mean,
really.
you don't have to get it right.
do you have a? Do you even have a picture of Sam Pittman? They just.
I mean, that is sad, Sam Pittman, too. Look how sad he is. Like, Sam, Coach, you're down 43-0 at the half. What are your adjustments?
They didn't even give him a belt.
Sad, Sam Pittman.
Yeah, pull your pants up here.
Sam looked like he just fed out the buffet clothes.
All right, Ryan Williams, Alabama fame, great following online, by the way, and he's a cover guy. He's on the cover of EA Sports, so you know he got the early deluxe. He's on line playing duals athlete Travis Hunter in a game of EA college football, Alabama and Colorado, and Ryan Williams showing Travis Hunter no mercy. Listen in.
What? Oh. I can't attention, bro. He was not paying no attention.
Old-fashioned dick whipping right there.
27-0 on Colorado.
Yeah. Travis did not come back. He actually pulled himself out of the game and went to the NFL.
I like Ryan Williams throwing too, Ryan Williams, too.
Yeah. Don't you think Alabama, Colorado probably played out like that last year?
Yeah, probably so, yeah.
Last year?
Oh, yeah. You don't think so?
Shador and Travis Hunter, that offense?
I'm just talking about at their best. I think Alabama would have walked them up.
Yeah, the Alabama that played in Baton Rouge.
So how do you know Alabama's best would have showed up?
That's what you don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah.
All right, developing news from the Big 12 Media Days, which started today in Frisco, Texas, and a couple of things coming out of there. One of those is Kalani Sitake, head coach BYU. He spoke this morning, and the mystery's over. Jake Retzlaff is no longer on the team. He's talking today, Brownie, about Jake in a past tense, and he's talking about the three quarterbacks who are still on the team. So Jake is off the BYU team officially.
I mean, I don't know that they started with an announcement of that, but as he's asked about it, all the Jake Retzlaff discussion is in past tense with him. There is no, hey, we need to see if we can work it out. We hope for the best. It's all, hey, man, we appreciate everything's done for us. We're moving on. It's about the team, not a single player.
We're going to see about 7-game suspension or the 7-game suspension.
No, there's none of that. It is all past tense with Jake Retzlaff.
You know, I respect tradition, but again, this honor code, I don't know what it's going to do to BYU moving forward. I really don't. And people might think that that's, hyperbolic.
No, I agree with you.
But if I'm a kid and I'm trying to decide between Miami and BYU, I think the decision gets a little easier when I know I can be thrown off a team for having premarital sex.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. We do this for a living, right? And we know about the honor code, and we know about BYU football. Did you know it was a 7-game suspension for that?
I did not know. I thought there were other people that had been kicked off the team. I didn't know it was a 7-game suspension. Yeah. That seemed like a random number to me.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It is a random number. It's not like half the season is 7 games. So if
it's almost like a no, I'm not even going to say it. I was going to make a joke.
Was it going to involve soaking? Was it?
It was, yeah.
Okay. I think 7, though, just more than half the.
I mean, you
season.
didn't really get kicked off the team. You sort of.
I mean, I guess if you would have asked me,
just sort of.
Here's what's interesting about if you would have said, hey, do you think somebody would get kicked off? I would say, well, they're never going to be pressed on this. But because somebody was under oath and because of the allegation,
that's right.
It was a very unusual circumstance how this thing came out.
It was
right.
almost as if that was the whole purpose of the allegations, right?
Yeah, but
because they were dropped immediately after he announced his transfer.
If you're representing Jake, this is a conversation you have before. Hey, is there any way we can keep this off record? Because you know what? We're going to be deposed. We're going to be honest under oath, but we really don't want this transcript coming out.
Oh, I'm sure there was an offer to do that. It'll be fascinating once this whole story comes out. Here is the exact quote from Kalani Sitake, courtesy of Pete Thamel. We love Jake and appreciate everything he's done for us, but I'll let him make statements about his situation. The program is fine, no matter the situation. It's not about one coach. It's not about one player either. We feel good about our program. He said he's excited for the 3 quarterbacks competing for the starting job. So everything is past tense. My only point in bringing that up, like I'm 49. We're all about the same age. We've watched BYU football our whole life. We know about the honor code. I did not realize that carried this heavy of a suspension. So imagine being a 16 or 17-year-old discovering that as you're going through the recruiting process, and you start to think, like, I mean, that's something a lot of people do, and
should be noted that it's not just for athletes. It's
the
entire institution.
It's for the entire institution. Yeah. And if I'm like, man, that's pretty strict. You know, what if I get caught if I make one mistake and smoke a joint, get arrested? Yeah. What if I make one mistake and have, just barely too much drink to be driving, right? And I get arrested. I'm with Lance. I mean, if I'm a recruit, I'm like, I don't plan to do any of those things, but I never plan to make the mistakes that I make in life, right? I just make those mistakes.
That's why I was confused about the 7-game suspension, because on the other side of that, the young lady, or if this was just a normal student, what is the equivalent of a 7-game suspension in the middle of a semester? To me, you're expelled from the school.
Well, you got to kick her out,
suspended
right?
a semester. So I assume that's what would happen for an athlete too. That's why I thought it was just
I'm with you.
off
Yeah,
the team,
weird.
out of school.
Deep dive here, but a lazy Sunday reality show I watched 30 years ago was Real World MTV.
Right.
And I think the girl's name was Julie. She was a BYU student, and they were in New Orleans. And I think based on her activity on screen, they threw her off campus.
Right.
Like, I think she got expelled from school.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Do you guys remember that at all?
I don't.
But I'm not surprised by it. No.
I knew the cowboy from Kentucky, Real World, I think the very first one, who was a virgin.
I don't
remember.
I remember, but he served at your church, right?
Yeah, he was
music minister or something?
Youth pastor, music minister at our church.
Yeah, and he was
for
on
a
Real
while
World
before he went on. Yeah.
It was before he went on.
Oh no, he was on Real World. This was after, since.
Yeah,
I mean, Real World happened in the '90s. The first.
Oh
one,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The first one was early '90s. Yeah. But if Clay Travis is covering Big 12 Media Days and he raises his hand, Coach Kalani Sitake, how many players would get suspended for 7 games if it all came out?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's wonder. If I'm Kalani Sitake, I'm nervous as crap. Yeah. I mean, now again, these were extenuating circumstances that brought this to light, obviously, and that's not going to happen all the time. But to your ultimate point, Lance, if I'm a recruit, I'm like, that's a lot to have to worry about. I already got enough to worry about, so it doesn't help your recruiting for sure.
Yeah, we've talked about that 2 or 3, 4 times since that story broke. Just wanted to get it out there that at Big 12 Media Days, the BYU coach has put it to rest. The question from Big 12 Media Days that I want to ask these guys, after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, one of them is our friends at Hemphill. They bring you lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com. Where last night, let me guess, you had the Detroit Tigers to beat the Tampa Bay Rays.
Did not, but I was 2-0 last night.
They did. The Tigers handled the Rays with ease. Did you go with the Red Hot Blue Jays?
I did not go with the Blue Jays last night.
They have won 9 games, and they're dominating the American League East now.
But 2-0, and we will have more Major League Baseball.
Why don't you tell me who you picked last night?
More Major League Baseball plays up and available for you at lanceslock.com. Again, free play every single day. Just to let you know, Dunaway, I had the Marlins and the Diamondbacks.
I didn't even know they played.
Yeah. lanceslock.com, always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. Any of these arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Okay, later on in the show, I'll give you guys time to work on this. I would love your power rankings from the Big 12. They're not going to give you a media poll over the next 2 days, so I'd love for us to give you one. So later in the show, whether you want to do your top 5, top 6, or if you want to do the whole league, you can do the whole league. I got mine scribbled down here. But here's the question I want to ask you. With Jake gone, and I don't know where you put Jake, of the Big 12 quarterbacks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got my top 6 Big 12 quarterbacks here. Who's the best quarterback in the Big 12 this year to you, Lance, first?
Sam Leavitt.
Sam Leavitt at Arizona State.
Probably, but I mean, I could make an argument for 2 other guys.
Okay, hold your other 2. Brown, if I asked you, would you like me to name Big 12 quarterbacks for you?
No.
Or do you have anybody other than Sam Leavitt, or is Sam Leavitt your guy?
I would probably go Sam Leavitt. I think this year, I mean, if I'm basing it on last year, it's easy Sam Leavitt, right? But if I look at this year, I think Sunshine might be number 2.
And who is Sunshine?
Avery
It's
Johnson.
Avery Johnson,
Avery
Kansas
Johnson.
State.
Purple Corvette. Yeah, he would have been one of my other two, or I've got.
I know who your other one is.
Yeah,
I've got
for
him
sure.
fifth.
You got him fifth. Sunshine,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I know who Lance is about to say.
I
Absolutely positive.
I too go Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
My number 2 guy plays his first game on a Friday night against the Auburn Tigers, Sawyer Robertson of Baylor.
He is right there with me, and he played a lot better the second half of the season. He's like Jake Retzlaff. I mean, I think he's a good quarterback, solid, perfect for Baylor, but there are other guys I would have in front.
And I know one, and you don't respect him, but I know who you're about to say.
I know who he's going to say. He loves this guy.
Rocco Beck.
Rocco Beck.
Yeah, and then I would put Jalen Daniels from Kansas. Battled injuries last year, but when he's healthy, he's really, really good.
Is Josh Hoover back at TCU?
Did not make my top 6.
Yeah,
Josh Hoover is third on my list.
He's the second. He's the leading returning passer. Shedeur Sanders led the league last year, and he's gone obviously. But Josh Hoover's the leading returning quarterback statistically in the Big 12.
Sam Levitt for me, Sawyer Robertson, Josh Hoover, Rocco Beck, Avery Johnson, and then Mr. $4.1 billion booster, Baron Morton, Texas Tech. Pretty good guy.
Yeah, Morton's good quarterback. I'm telling you, Jalen Daniels, don't sleep on him. When he's healthy, really, really good.
By the way, saw an article today. I think it was Wall Street Journal. It was one of the, I didn't read it. Read the tweet. Meet the man that could change the face of college athletics. You know who it was?
The $4.1 billion
billionaire,
guy.
our Texas Tech billionaire.
Yeah.
Meet the man that could change the face of college athletics is what they're saying about the guy now.
Auburn gets those guys, that Sawyer Robertson and that Baylor team, Friday night.
Massive game.
Yeah, it's a huge game, especially with everything going on with Auburn.
Much bigger for Hugh Freeze, by the way.
It does seem that way.
Yeah.
Big for Dave Aranda, though, too. It'd be a pelt on his wall, a notch
It
in
would
his
be.
holster.
My point there is if Baylor is to lose, I still think Baylor could win the Big 12 losing at home to Auburn. But if Auburn was to lose on the road to Baylor with what they've got in the SEC, it looks like it's going to be a long road for Hugh Freeze in year 3.
I was about to go a third one. It was a pelt on the wall, a belt on his holster, a teardrop on his cheek for Aranda, whatever he needs.
He's going to murder him?
Iowa State coach Matt Campbell just now at the podium. Our top 20 guys took a pay cut to come back to Iowa State.
Oof.
Took a pay cut. So they're paying them less. Okay, so he's saying they're paying them less year over year?
Or they got offered a lot to leave.
Yeah, I bet that's it.
Well, that's technically not taking a pay cut, but I think that's what he means.
Can you imagine going to Rocco Beck and say, hey, look, you were going to get 800, we're going to give you 600.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
don't think that flies.
Yeah. It is a new world of college athletics, but I would be surprised if that did happen.
I think Dunaway's right. I think it's more Rocco Beck making 800 was offered 1.2 somewhere else.
I could believe that now. I do think. I know you don't believe in Rocco Beck, Dunaway, but I believe Rocco Beck had a price in the portal. Again, we'll continue to use this as an example. If he were in the portal, do you think?
Well, I think Tennessee reached out to him.
I do too, but you would definitely agree they take him over Aguilar, right?
Yeah,
100% Rocco Beck over Aguilar.
Kalen DeBoer takes him over Ty Simpson.
Oof, I don't know about that. I don't know if we go that far.
I love you're laughing a guy that's never started the game.
Save my reaction for October for the October 20th show. That'll be enough to where either I'll look great or like an idiot, one of the two. But save that for October 20th. What is that? Is that a weekday? October 20th? I don't have a calendar in front of me.
I'll open it up.
But set a reminder. Not the one I used for Forrester's birthday. Set a reminder.
Oh, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Okay, that's perfect.
All right.
Save that for October 20th, that reaction of him saying, Kalen DeBoer would have taken Rocco Beck over Ty Simpson.
Jim's Rocco Beck reaction.
Yeah. And I went,
that's going to be coming off the Tennessee game.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Good old Rocky time.
No, all I'm saying is Rocco Beck is a guy that had Iowa State a half away from getting to a college football playoff.
In the Big 12.
In the Big 12 with, if he had Alabama weapons.
Yeah. Speaking of Auburn, that big Friday night game against Baylor, I quizzed Forrester earlier. Congratulations to Taylor Bryan, friend of ours, who is now the football operations guy, football communications guy. This is Taylor back when he worked at Auburn 2011 through 2017 in the middle with Andy Burcham and the late Rod Bramlett. Broadcasting legends there at Auburn. Taylor is back at Auburn now. He was at North Texas. He's an associate AD in charge of football communications. Today's his first day on the job at Auburn. Congratulations to Taylor. Something you could aspire to, Tyler. Taylor Bryan, one time an intern with the old Dunaway and Brown show on AM 690.
Way back in the day. One of our first interns, in fact. Maybe the first.
Maybe the first one, yeah.
So the guy survived being an intern for us, and his career has flourished since.
Went on to great things, and now he's back at Auburn.
Yeah. Tyler, once an intern.
Associate AD.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
Big steps.
Yeah,
Big steps.
Means Brown and I are getting old.
I did not get called for a reference. I don't know if Jim did, so perhaps he leaves that part off his resume. I do not know.
Yeah, on the extreme opposite, I think we've got interns that they might be unemployed.
Or in prison.
Or
I don't
in prison,
know.
yeah.
I saw one the other night at Helen. Walked up to me. I hadn't seen him. He was an intern for us. Gosh, he told me.
Did you recognize him?
2008. I recognized him, but could not place the name, and he understood.
Hey, wild man.
What's up, big dog? So yeah, I saw him at Helen. Now a principal over in the Etowah County High School system. So there you go.
Wow. Principal.
Yeah,
Principal title.
That's right.
Yeah. Not that you should be job searching right
No.
now.
We're just saying from intern to who knows where. Tyler, you started here as an
trying
intern.
to hint at something?
No. You started as an intern. Is all we're pointing
We
out.
had an active NFL player that was an intern.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Active.
Dunaway felt bad making him run errands.
On the roster.
I hate to ask you this. I know you'll be reporting.
We need lunch.
I know you'll be reporting to camp pretty soon, but you mind running down to Hamburger Heaven?
Yeah, I need a club sandwich like you need a.
I'll buy you one, even though you make a lot more money than me.
I need a club sandwich like you need a carry in the red zone.
Yeah, we had an intern that was driving a brand new Escalade.
we did have that. Yeah.
He made more than the collective group of all three of us.
We had an intern that ran, maybe still does, for professional bull riding, PBR. She ran communications for them.
We had a stewardess.
Had a flight attendant, I think we call them now.
It was a female, though. So.
I think she might be a professional, but
Yeah.
We got somebody who works at NFL Films.
Yep, that is true.
Who's that?
One of Lauren Claybine.
Right? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. She also won a free throw shooting contest against our listeners.
All of our listeners. Nobody beat her all day long. So, great legacy when it comes to interns, Tyler. You got a lot to live up to. Maybe you'll make it, too, in the Ring of Honor up here. When we come back, our 40-40 team to number 4 in our countdown, Clay Travis. Later on the show, we'll give you our rankings of the Big 12 and a ton more, including a heavy we know who the odds-on favorite is to win the Heisman, but who is actually getting money bet on them? It's a runaway right now, according to the people that take bets on the Heisman. We'll talk about that later in the show today. A couple of great sponsors here, and one of them, our fine friends right there at Twin Peaks, LT. Tell us about Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, just a great place to go. Me and Bo were there last Tuesday, I think, for lunch. Had a fantastic lunch sitting at the bar and enjoyed some of that 29-degree cold beer. It's always that cold at Twin Peaks. Don't forget about their incredible happy hour. They've got the great craft cocktails. And again, you can't beat the cold beer with the Twin Peaks girls running around, stopping at one of those great locations for lunch or dinner. It is Twin Peaks.
And if you want to go see America, you can see it in an RV from Johnston RV Center this summer. Great prices for just about every price range, as low as $129 a month with approved credit, all the way up to the big motor homes that they've got there. You can find something that fits your budget. And great news, if you are a member of our United States military, we know, like they know, you make the United States of America the greatest country in the world. No questions asked about it. If you're active duty or veteran, you get a great discount there at Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at The Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
New Life Art is proud to announce Daniel A. Moore's upcoming Alabama basketball painting, Buzzer Beater. Closing out the regular season, Alabama and Auburn faced off in a top 10 matchup. With less than 1 second remaining in overtime and the game tied at 91, Mark Sears launched a 15-foot floater that sealed the Tide's victory. Visit DanielMooreArt.com and see the artist's preliminary sketch of this historic Bama win. And take advantage of special pre-production pricing for Buzzer Beater.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
All right, back with you on the next round. We roll on. What was the reaction to the? Did anybody play the game that I can move Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss to another job?
Yeah, they say you cannot do that. Well, first of all, Dylan says it was $30 extra. Blake says 26 is better than 25.
Dang it, I'll have to buy it.
Oh, you're gonna buy it now?
Yeah.
I thought you already did.
No, I had the last year one.
Blake goes on to say...
I told Maggie I was going to buy it last year and never buy it again.
Blake goes on to say you can't move coaches unless you're in dynasty mode.
Well, that's what I play.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Now, he also says Bill Belichick has not been in a football game for 15 years, so apparently he didn't cooperate with Madden people either. Dylan says you can't move coaches, but you can use other schools' playbooks. You can change playbooks there.
I was just wondering if the coaches get fired in those games, right? Because when I'm in Dynasty, I'm able to move. So if Lane Kiffin got fired, I don't know why we're using Lane, but if Lane gets fired at Ole Miss in the game, not in real life, what would Lane ever do to get fired in real life? But in the game, if he gets fired, because those things have to turn over because there's a coaching carousel in the Dynasty mode every year for me to choose a new job if I want to leave, then what happens? See, that's why I would be hesitant to be in the game because – let's say Hugh Freeze has a very mediocre year this year in the game, not in real life, and the game fires him to create a space for me to leave Texas State to take the Auburn job in the game. Where does caricature Hugh Freeze go in the game? That's what I want to find out, guys. So somebody do Dynasty mode today.
Yeah, I think it is interesting how many people in our audience will fire Hugh Freeze in this game before they kick it off against Baylor.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're an Auburn fan, you'd instantly fire him, and you want to be the coach yourself. You know?
Everybody's saying
right now, somewhere Taylor Corn is coaching Auburn in EA Sports.
Laura says Pittman looks like somebody just told him there's no beer in the cooler.
Yeah. Turn that thing off.
What? Ain't no beer in the cooler.
Bojangles brings you part of the show today. Tell us about Bojangles.
It can be bow tie for you at lunch. Everybody loves good dipping sauce, right? At Bojangles, you can get that, and the perfect thing to go with it, hand-breaded tenders. If you're looking for sweet, try honey mustard. You want to add some tang, try barbecue. If you want some heat, try creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. If you're craving smooth and creamy, house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic bow sauce ready and waiting. So head to Bojangles, order some hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today. It's bow time.
And our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Tell us about Woodhouse.
The gift of relaxation, you can get it from our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa, conveniently located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. Stop in, see Stuart and that great staff there. You can pick up the gift cards, different accessories, candles, robes, great gifts for mom, girlfriend, wife. Or you can order the gift cards 24/7 online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Let them choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, stop in, see them, or order online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Hey, Brandon says, any Auburn fan going to Waco, hit up Vitex Barbecue. I did not get to eat there. It's supposed to be good. Health Camp Burgers. I did eat there. It's like a drive-in. It's right on the main road. It is a really good spot.
Health Camp?
Health. It's a weird name.
Well, I was about to say that throws you off, doesn't it?
Health. Do an image search real quick. You'll like this place.
It's like an Impossible Burger.
Health Camp Burgers in Waco, Texas is the name of it. And it's pretty good to look at. Doesn't that look like a good spot?
Does not look healthy, but
it ain't healthy at all. I think that's the play on words.
I could destroy one
How
of those.
good does that look? Yeah, if you're an Auburn fan heading out there, do Health Camp.
Hey, and I love the presentation is what it really probably looks like.
Oh, yeah. That is an accurate
This is not Michael Douglas and falling down. This does not look like that.
Yeah, those are good burgers right there. So a little shout out. Thank you, Brandon from Waco, Texas.
Fries look a little shaky, but
hey, click on the bottom left right there. Just look at the place. Doesn't that look like a place you'd want to go eat?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right, it looks like something you would see in Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah, we probably should bring like the week of the game. We'll bring it back up and maybe give you a couple of places when you're traveling out there because we're going to be able 53 days away, 52 days away from that. You may forget by then, but game week, if you're traveling to Waco, as we always do, we love to tell you great places to eat. But that does look like a good burger.
It's a good burger.
It's got to be sloppy to be a good burger for me, and that does good.
Yep.
All right. Happy birthday to my mom, by the way. Mom's.
Did you just get that alert?
She's watching today, I'm sure. No.
Okay, you knew that one.
Took her to a very early dinner last night.
You know, I used to remember birthdays when we would write the date on the paper.
Yep. On the calendar.
Yeah. Never do that anymore. Happy birthday, Mrs. Dunaway.
Yeah.
She's it's been a tough year, but she is doing great, and we had a good time. Laughed a lot last night. It was fantastic. All right. Let's do our 40 and 40 team. Tell us about our friends at Champions, and we'll jump into who's number 4 in our rankings today.
Champions Boxing, located in Pelham behind the Purple Onion. If you are looking for a unique place to get an incredible workout, something different, you can do it with our friends Akash, Jake, the fine folks at Champions Boxing. Boxing and fitness competition, all ages starting at 9 years old. 8 USA boxing certified coaches, not only in boxing, but strength and conditioning. Any former athletes looking to try another sport to compete in after high school and college, and the official sports boxing coordinator for the 2025 World Police Fire Games held in Birmingham this July. Scotty is showing the footage right there. Team and family oriented, helps in teaching discipline and fundamentals. Again, located in Pelham behind the Purple Onion. For more information on Instagram at Champions Boxing AL, on Facebook at Champions Boxing AL as well.
Only 4 teams that you haven't seen the logo of. Let's check another one off the box. Sliding in at number 4 in the fan vote here, our 40 and 40. There's the Nittany Lions of Penn State sliding in at number 4. 5 people had them winning the national championship. 5 of them. Dave Scroggins, Aaron Ryan, David Wilson, Rusty Harris, and Bo O'Neill from up here. Bo
picked them?
Penn State winning the national championship. 3 4 people had them number 2, losing the national championship game, which would be a good year. The lowest ranking from Penn State was number 10. So almost everybody had them in the playoffs. At number 10, 2 people, J.D. Thorne and Lance Taylor.
So it will be 40 years since Penn State has played for or won a national championship. We remember the old game against Miami and Vinny Testaverde.
That was the last time?
That was the last time, 1986.
Now, in 94, they were undefeated out in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And who won it? Was it Nebraska that won it?
Yes.
Yeah. So they were close again.
So it's been a long time, and I don't know if people realize this. James Franklin doesn't win big games.
Big game James? You kidding?
Look, he won 13 games last year, his best season by far. He's won 34 games over the last 3 years. They're minus 250 to make the postseason. You start to look at the schedule, they're going to be favored 9 or 10 games. They've got 4 really difficult swing games. But to me, you put in the fact that James Franklin doesn't win big games. You lose your best offensive weapon in Tyler Warren, who bailed them out of so many games last year. You lose your best defensive player in Abdul Carter. I think this is going to be a little disappointing for Penn State fans this year.
I tend to agree. Now, if he loses the games he would normally lose, if you just give him losses in the games he would normally lose, it would be Oregon at home Saturday, September 27th. Big day of college football. That's the same day Bama plays Georgia. And then at Ohio State the first Saturday of November. Those are the types of games James Franklin just doesn't win. But if he wins the rest of them, that's good enough to make the playoffs. I mean, I really like them in the playoffs. I just never see them win big enough games to win a national championship.
Yeah, I think Dunaway, they're going to lose one of those. I think they'll lose both those games.
Okay, but which other one jumps out at you?
Haven't beaten the Buckeyes in Columbus since 2011. Yeah. At Iowa is going to be a really, really difficult game.
It's a before the bye, before Ohio State. So it's kind of, I don't know if that's a letdown spot for them.
And
then, just a tough spot.
And then Indiana and Nebraska, they've got both of those games in Happy Valley. So that's going to benefit Penn State. But I think of those 3 games, they lose one. I think they go 9-3 in the regular season.
I don't think they're in.
I don't think so
resume.
Yeah. Well, no 9-3 team has made the playoffs yet.
Ever.
Wide receivers, Pena, Ross, and Hudson are all out of the portal from Syracuse, Troy, and USC, which, as LT said, that's a big change at the wide receiver position, and you don't have Warren to bail you out as the tight end there. Great running backs. Drew Aller's back at quarterback. In the rankings here, LT had him the lowest at 10th. I was next at 8th. Brown 7. Little T, Taylor had him 5. Microphone on the back row there. The guy in his Auburn rowback hoodie today, Scott Forrester. You have him number 3 on your ranking, Forrester.
3?
Back to the semifinals. Number 3. You believe in this Penn State team a lot.
I believe in their ability to win the games that they should win.
Well,
that you get to be number 3. You got to win a couple playoff games.
That probably gets you 10-2.
Well, they could get a favorable draw just like they did last year.
That is true.
No, we've ditched last year's system. They'd have to beat at least one SEC team to get to the semis. In my opinion, right? Yeah.
Well,
there's no way you can navigate.
Oh, no, they won't get the same treatment
to
they
get
did
to the
last year.
semis without beating an SEC team.
No. I saw Brett McMurphy, who is now with On 3. He did an article, and he had Penn State, the number 2 overall seed, playing Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So Alabama having played an on-campus game, then going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I guess.
It was funny last night. A guy on Twitter I follow, Bunky Perkins. Funny guy on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a very funny guy.
Real name, nickname?
I'm going to say that's probably not his Christian name, but he's a funny guy on Twitter. He does a lot of college football and sports, and he's just funny about it. Doesn't take himself too seriously, it appears.
Much like you.
Thank you. But he got the EA.
I thought that's what you were going to say. I was trying to finish your sentence.
He got the EA College Sports game, the college football game, and he immediately did a simulation. And the 2 teams that had played for the national championship were Texas A&M and Penn State. And I'm like, you can't find 2 teams that perform worse in big games than Texas A&M and Penn State. Like, you can't find them.
Well, one thing we didn't talk about is they bring in the Jim Knowles, a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, which is huge.
That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, he is, I think, by most accounts, the best defensive coordinator in all of football.
In the game right now,
I don't disagree, but did you watch them last year and think defense was their issue?
No.
So, I mean, until they fix that offense and it gets somewhere, and listen, man, people love this Andy Kolenicki, who's their offensive coordinator.
He's new.
Well, he was there last year.
Yeah,
he was there last year.
Which
Second year.
should be better for Drew Aller.
Yeah, but people love this guy. But James Franklin's offenses just generally suck. I mean, there's no other way around it. When have you seen James Franklin have a good offense?
Yeah, really the only time their defense let them down. Look, the game against USC, the defense wasn't good. They won the game in overtime 33-30. But against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, the defense was not good.
Yeah, they were 16.5 points a game in scoring defense last year. I don't know how much Jim Knowles changes that.
No, you can't do much better
I mean,
than that.
it's hard. Ohio State was 12.9, so I guess you could, in theory, drop it down, a couple points. But I again, it's all about the offense to me. Drew Aller has got to be the NFL quarterback people think he's going to be, and you got to find, as Lance pointed out, not a replacement for Warren, but a guy that did some of what Warren did for you, because he, as Lance said, Warren bailed you out of a ton of situations.
Boy, they lined him up everywhere on the field. I mean, he was maybe at times the best offensive player in college football. He was that good.
No, I don't disagree with you.
So Penn State, number 4, and that leaves us with 3 more logos to unveil this week as we do one team every day all the way up to SEC Media Days. Seems like yesterday we started the 40 and 40 countdown, and we're already up to almost to a full screen. We'll do number 3 tomorrow, 2 on Thursday, and we'll unveil your number 1 team on the best fan poll ever in the history of media. And we'll unveil number 1 coming up. We've already done Alabama. We've already done Georgia. So there's no bias on our voting here. You guys are fantastic every year. We'll do number 3 tomorrow on the show. Before we do the viewing menu, tell us about our friends at A+ Browning.
That is the group that redid the master bath in the Brown house. Basically, when we bought our house back in 2015, we've been there about a decade, we immediately said, okay, we want to redo the master bath. At that moment, listen, you start doing other things when you buy a house. So we kicked the can down the road a bit. But my wife finally said, okay, we're going to do it now. So Jennifer, she got on that internet. She scoured it. She read reviews of certain contractors, talked to people that had used certain contractors. We talked to contractors themselves. Brad Bell was the guy that really stood out, and he came out and looked at our job and said, what do you want it to look like? We told him, we were like, yeah, we'd like it a little bit darker. We'd like this here, this there. That's exactly what he did. He didn't try to sell us on some plan or talk us into something. He wanted to do the job the way we wanted it done. Now, Brad does everything, but I'm going to tell you what he specializes in. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom closets. Why is that important? Because when you live in a house, you spend a lot of time in those rooms. When you go to sell your house, you can get your money back to a certain extent on those rooms. They are very, very important. They pop when people come to look at your house. See more before and after. Scott's showing you live, but you can see more at alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com.
Hey, if you've been thinking about the LASIK procedure, maybe you wear contacts, you wear the glasses, stop procrastinating. Make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. I talked to our friend Amy yesterday. When you call that number, make sure you ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Got a couple new streaming releases tonight. Prime has added the movie Game Night to its catalog.
That's a fantastic movie.
It's very funny. I love Jesse Plemons in that movie.
Fat Matt Damon is great in that movie.
Yes.
And so is Jason Bateman. I mean, both of them are just terrific.
Yes, Jason Bateman's always great as like the straight man
That's
in
right.
comedy.
Yeah.
And
just snarky. I mean, It's a fantastic movie.
And then Hulu has a new docuseries called Born to be Viral, The Real Lives of Kidfluencers. Oh. And it follows the journey of the first generation of children whose entire upbringing has been shared online by their parents, often to millions of people, with some families earning millions of dollars.
So this is like kids whose parents sort of took advantage of them, like that kid that would open up a present.
Ryan's World?
Toy World or whatever.
Oh, he'll take his parents one day. He's on therapy.
Yeah, I bet Ryan's doing okay.
Well, it depends if Ryan has the money.
Yeah,
or that's always been spent.
That's always the catch.
The big issue.
Yep.
There's also a lot of family vloggers that have had a lot of controversy with earning money, how they stage videos, and even like child abuse accusations towards some of them. So it's a very serious issue going on.
I was going to make a joke there until you went child abuse at the end, but I was
kind of hard to follow that.
It'd be a funny Saturday Night Live skit on what's the kid's name that had to open up presents?
Ryan's World? Yeah, Ryan.
Then it's like, you've got to open up another present this morning. I don't want to, Mom. And then, it's like he's got paper cuts and he's bleeding because, as they do on Saturday Night Live, it's gushing everywhere because he's having to open so many presents.
Like the anal retentive shelf.
You've got to play with the toy. I don't want to. I'm tired. I need to sleep. You've got to play with your toys. It'd be a funny SNL skit. Is that it for you?
That's all I've got on the minutes.
Okay, I've got the. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I saw, and I was wondering if you or Melton have ever seen the movie The Man from Earth.
I have not.
2007, low budget. I think the budget was like $300,000 or $400,000.
I saw a girl from Mars one time.
But it's based on. It's such a weird concept. It's based on a professor is leaving his job, and so this group of professors get together to kind of send him off. But their question is, you're about to be tenured. You've been doing this for 10 years. Why are you leaving? And so he goes into this story that he's 14,000 years old. And so it's really fascinating the way it's done because he walks them through the 14,000 years. And they're asking all of these questions. And it's pretty interesting how it's done. It's very, very low budget and a lot of character actors you will recognize. But I thought it was interesting.
Tyler went a little short today because I think I have found the 50 greatest movies of all time, the best list ever put together of the 50 greatest movies of all time.
Okay, why would you think that this is the best list?
Because it is a combination of movies that I have seen, recognized a lot of them. I haven't seen them all, but I recognize a lot of them. And as I told people before the show, by sitting next to you for 15, 16 years, of the ones I haven't seen, I've heard you compliment and talk positive about.
Okay.
So here's the list, and it's going to be small for those watching to see, but
read it to me, Jim.
Like number one is The Dark Knight from 2008. You guys love The Dark Knight. I hear positive
I mean,
things.
it's good, but it's not number one.
Yeah, it's good, but it is so overrated.
Number one rated movie of all time.
Yeah, no way
Tyler,
it's all time.
Thoughts?
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Christopher Nolan took what was previously seen as just this campy comic book hero, because the previous Batman series was Batman and Robin from Joel Schumacher, which absolutely killed the character and put it on the shelf until 2005 when Nolan did Batman Begins. And Dark Knight brought it to a new level, making this really epic crime thriller, but it had Batman in it, so it works.
Shawshank was number 2 all time. I mean, I've seen
it's
both
great.
of these, and I like both of these.
I love Shawshank. I think 2's probably a bit high, but I appreciate the respect.
Interstellar is 3 all time.
Another good one, but I think Christopher Nolan's got a fan that actually did these top 50 movies.
Yeah. The Godfather Part 2 is number 4, Brownie. You always say 2's better than 1. They agree with you.
I think 2's the best. I think it goes 2-1, and then 3 should have never been made. Yeah. But I do like 2 better than 1.
Yeah,
they went Godfather, the original, number 5. So back there, right there together.
I just can't believe both of those would be behind Interstellar or The Dark Knight.
Exactly. Yes.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is 6.
I prefer Fellowship of the Ring.
It's number 9. It's in there.
Okay.
And the Two Towers is number 10. So 3 of those make the top 10.
Yeah, that's a bit high.
Goodfellas, we all love.
Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
You know, I don't know about you guys, but I also like movies that are based on true stories.
Yep.
I think it makes it that much better.
Yeah. And Goodfellas is that. That's why you say that. Yeah.
Good Will Hunting is 8. The 2 Lord of the Rings are 10. Gladiator's 11.
Gladiator's terrific.
Yeah. The Departed's 14. I mean, these
terrific movie.
Saving Private Ryan is Inception. These are all movies I've either heard you guys talk about or I've seen.
I personally love both Saving Private Ryan and Inception, 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
I mean, so it's a list. You can go check it out. Circle Rank.
There's too much Marvel on this list.
It started bad, but I think it gets better once you get into the teens and 20s.
Yeah, too much Marvel. I didn't think.
Two Avengers movies.
Wait, say that again. I want to see your lips as you say it. You had your head turned. Say that again.
There's too much Marvel on this list.
Wow, yeah. I didn't think I'd ever hear that from behind the glass.
You don't watch much Meltdown, but I'm known as a
Marvel hater.
Top tier Marvel hater.
Wait, where is Jaws on this?
Jaws is not there. Which
they're not in the top 50.
Nope.
No Jaws.
They didn't throw that list out.
Yeah, I knew that would catch Lance.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
Seven's
terrible.
on there. I love that movie.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7's really good.
incredible.
Really good.
Part 2, I called that the best movie of last year.
Hey, Jurassic Park's on it.
Yeah, I never seen it, Scott. Yeah. Lance does not like Josh Pate weighs in. Josh Pate's college football show says Truman Show in all caps with a question mark and exclamation point.
I really like Truman Show,
That's
but
number
I would
48.
not put it in the top
That's
50
a
of all
joke.
time.
Josh
That
Pate
is
cannot
a
believe
joke.
it's number 48.
It's not in the top 500 movies of all time.
Come on.
The Truman Show?
You agree with Josh Pate on everything, Dunaway.
I used to until he got married. And
now he hates the Truman Show.
His head, he's left some of his brain in the islands, in that hammock where he was relaxing. He's come back a different man now.
Shutter
You like Truman
Island's
Show?
on here too.
Who?
That's
Shutter Island?
Shutter Island was good.
Yeah, but it's not top 50.
No, not
it's
even
not
close.
a top 50 movie of all time.
And they got Miracle number 50. Come on,
Listen,
man.
I think
that's
Wait,
high.
what?
It
Miracle,
should,
yeah.
should not be on
The
the
hockey
list.
movie.
it's a great movie.
Kurt Russell?
Yes,
It's a great movie.
It's so hokey.
I'd put
you-
Big Trouble in Little China over Miracle.
You guys can't always eat the best meal. You got to have some meat and potatoes. You got to have some
Gremlins
vanilla
is 10
ice cream.
times better than Miracle.
Okay, the greatest movie list of all time, Circle Ring. Go check it out. Clay Travis on the other side. As we work our way to SEC Media Days coming up 1 week from yesterday, we'll be in the ATL getting you ready for the football season, which is 46 days away from Farmageddon. This is the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of NextRoundLive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new Chicken and Bowberry Waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a Bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try Chicken and Bowberry Waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Clay Travis momentarily as we move to hour number 2 on what has become a controversial show with Josh Pate not agreeing with me on something, and all of a sudden Josh Pate is my A.J. McCarron. I try to kiss Josh's butt all the time and agree with him on everything.
Right.
I try to be a loyal Josh supporter, and Truman Show is what's going to break up the relationship.
Yeah. He said he'd rather die on the island you mentioned than die on the Truman Show hill.
Oh.
You think Truman Show's the top 50 movie of all time?
I enjoyed it.
Well,
He thinks Serendipity is.
That's a good point.
Not on the list, by the way.
Yeah, there were not many rom-coms on the list.
I know. That's why I thought I was bringing a good list to the show.
There weren't many old movies on there either.
That's true.
I expected like Citizen Kane just to take
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
That's a default. Those are default things that
default
people.
spots.
Yeah, they're default.
No, Casablanca is a great movie. Citizen Kane, the way it was shot, is a great movie.
It's
not a fan of Citizen Kane though.
Yeah, I mean,
we've
gotten a lot better since then. It's like saying, we cooked that dinosaur really good on the open fire. It's seasoned perfectly. Well, we've gotten a little bit better since then. So,
just please don't tell me you think Truman Show is better than Citizen Kane.
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
I enjoyed the entertainment factor. Truman Show was better than Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Yes. Odie's gets us to Clay Travis.
Odie's Tavern, great place to grab a lunch or dinner. Remember, tomorrow night we will be back out there for Odie's Team Trivia. That's every Wednesday night. The original location in Crestline, a newest location in Edgewood. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Incredible wings, sandwiches. Stop in. Either location, live music on Fridays, Saturdays. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
All right, Clay Travis, the founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on social media, and you can see him on and hear him on Fox as well. Welcome in, Clay. How are you today?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Doing well. Clay with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. Just before we get started, your favorite movie of all time is what?
Oh, man. In terms of just sheer enjoyment, I think it's probably hard to beat Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. I think, best movie of all time gets into, are we talking about, I heard you guys talking about like Citizen Kane. There are art films like Schindler's List is a really, really incredible movie. Not something that I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to kick back and have a beer and watch Schindler's List today, right? And so I think I think Back to the Future and The Last Crusade, to me, watchable movies that are just as good when you rewatch them, and are just really well crafted. So I'd probably not going to surprise people, lean towards the super popular but incredibly well done movies of like the 1980s that I think are kind of the peak of cinema.
A day when I agree with Clay Travis and disagree with Josh Pate. The world is upside down.
It is, in fact.
So, Clay, I think maybe the most difficult thing to do in all of sports now is to predict who's going to win the Big 12 every year in college football. And I thought BYU was that team this year, coming off 11 wins last year. But Jake Retzlaff, it has been confirmed. Kalani Sitake, Big 12 Media Days, he is off the team. If I was to ask you, percentage of teams we could field in college sports if people got thrown off for having premarital sex?
Boy, I mean, Tim Tebow would have been even more valuable, I guess, because I think the number of virgins that are starting quarterbacks in college football would be pretty low, and so look, BYU has special obviously considerations. The fact that Jim McMahon somehow stayed eligible at BYU is one of the most unbelievable stories of all time. I think Jim McMahon, maybe in the 80s could get away with things that would be tougher to get away with in the in the 2010s, 2020s. But I would say we would lose 99% of all starting quarterbacks, and probably most of the good ones if premarital sex was a kick out of school qualification.
But imagine being Kalani Sitake. I mean, I thought they were going to win the Big 12. And, I mean, look, he knows what the honor code is. Sitake played there, right? He played there. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a guy that lived it. Like, he lived the honor code. That's a tough one. I mean, like, it takes a lot to get a 7-game suspension or kicked off the team in the SEC. A lot. And to lose your starting quarterback a month or 2 months before the season because of that, and you've got a contender, that's just insane as a college football coach to have to deal with that.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, and I'm not 100% plugged in on this story, but in addition to the premarital sex, weren't there lawsuits and allegations of sexual assault?
It was a civil suit, Clay, and there was a mutually agreed upon, I can't remember the phrasing, but basically both sides agreed to dismiss the case the day after, and perhaps the day of, but the story came out the day after. It was announced they had a 7-game suspension. So they announced a 7-game suspension. The very next day, the story comes out that both sides had mutually agreed to dismiss the case.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a messy situation that is unique, I think, to BYU. Let me say this. I would imagine, we're kind of making light of it, that there may actually be an advantage in a era where everyone is competing the same way. In the short term, yes, I understand why that can be frustrating. But if you decide, hey, I'm only going to recruit a certain type of kid, a super religious kid, obviously, a lot of kids with the Mormon faith, clearly, but the decision to go in that direction culturally might, in the long run, produce a more substantial winner. And so, I always like the phrase because sports are unique for it. And I don't remember the first coach I had who said it, but he said, we recruit our own problems. And that's true, I think, in life in general. Most people focus on external things that they think are obstacles to them. And most of the time, not to get philosophical, you're your own worst obstacle and you're your own best asset. And so in this era, I was just down on the beach, and every college football coach in America, it feels like, was down on the same beach I was last week. And I actually talked to a bunch of coaches, and the amount of time that they spend on these contracts and on kids that have no loyalty and no discipline now, some guys are just like, yeah, I watched the film, he's incredible. But then I find out that he's already been committed to one school, and I find out who's repping him, and he's like, I'm just not worth my time. I think that there is a lot of that going on in college football right now. And by the way, the thing that's staggering to me, and I was having conversations with coaches about this too, the number of high school kids that expect to be paid NIL now, nobody's talking about it. It's off the charts. I've got 2 boys that are going to be in high school at a prominent Nashville high school next year. And I was talking to the quarterback coach the other day, and he was like, every good high school quarterback now is expecting 6 figures to play at a private school anywhere in the South. I don't know that most people have realized that, but the trickle-down effect of NIL is real. And we were having this conversation because you're going to see a lot of kids blow themselves up when they get to college. But the number of kids that are going to get blown up because their dad's trying to get $150K for them in 10th grade football, and they go to a worse option, and they don't develop, and they don't take care of their of the work that's necessary to be an elite level player. I think you're going to see a lot more of these stories. Frankly, I think it's unfortunate because it's a failure to see the big picture. If I sit down with my kids, and if I had a kid who was a quarterback who hoped to play in college football, I don't. But if I did, I would say, look, Patrick Mahomes is going to become a billionaire. Whatever you make in 16-year-old or 19-year-old or 20-year-old football should be a pinprick of what you're trying to build towards. And I just think there are a lot of guys that are not looking big picture that are, unfortunately, I think, and parents too, going to submarine their kids' chances at big money chasing small money.
Clay Travis is with us on the Shunnarah Trial Attorney Hotline. Clay, I played golf 14 times in the month of May, 8 times in the month of June. I've already played 6 times in July. Does that mean I'm
today's the 8th?
Does that mean I'm bad at my job? I asked this for a friend of mine named Hugh Freeze.
I do not have time to play golf very often with what I do. I get invited to play golf all the time. I maybe go to 4 or 5 charity events a year to play golf. Otherwise, for what I do, I can't be on the golf course 4 or 5 hours very often, and be really good at what I do. So everybody decides how they want to spend their time, to be fair. I've also been working. I don't know how many places have I talked to you guys from in the last. I'm just now back home. I was on the road for the past 6 weeks. So some people would say, "Oh, Clay, you were in Michigan. Oh, you're in Florida. Oh, you're in D.C." I feel like I can get my work done there. I don't feel like I can get my work done on the golf course. So everybody makes decisions in their own life when they have some success of how they balance their time. I haven't been able to find a way to play golf 5 hours a day, run out, kick, do my radio show, and manage all the obligations that I have that also have nothing to do with work, right? Like I got to get a kid to football camp this afternoon that I'm on the hook for. So I got to be, balancing out 4 hours of my day to get him to football camp and hang out with him. So anyway, I say that to say people make time for the things that they care about the most. Clearly, I don't care about golf that much. You must care about golf a lot.
Do you?
I enjoy my friends,
you
and being outside.
You play by yourself a lot.
Yeah.
How many times when you come up on the 11th hole do you think, man, I still got 7 more holes to play? I think golf would be way more popular.
Agree.
If everybody only played 9.
9 is
or
way.
if everybody only played 12. I think we should normalize normal people. I get it. Like at Wimbledon, you may play a 5-set match. Most people play in tennis don't go play 5-set matches. I don't know why 18 holes is the standard. There's very few times I've played 9 and I've thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind just going ahead and calling it or 10 or 12 or whatever, and just going ahead and calling it round. And you're like, well, you don't even get to see what 14 looks like. And it's well, next time you play the back 9. I don't know.
You're not old like me, though.
I think normalizing 9 holes would actually be a good move for golf.
When you're old like me, 6 to 14 is about by the time I'm warmed up and I'm got the joints flowing in the right direction, and then I get tired at 14. So I'm struggling the last 3 holes, but it takes me 6 holes to get loose.
I've never met anybody who was like, "Oh, we're on 13. I'm so excited. We've got 5 more holes."
Yeah,
it depends on how you're playing.
Clay, I played for the first time in 7 years with Brown and a couple of guys up here, and at 9 I was like,
"How'd you do?"
I didn't play
surprisingly well.
Yeah. We got to play again this Friday, and I'm looking forward to the group I'm playing with. But at the same time, with the heat, I don't want to play a full 18. Anyway, we got to the turn, Clay, and I was like, 9 is the perfect amount of golf.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in the South in the summer when it's 195 degrees and you're just sweating your balls off. And, it is I just think that you don't have to do everything like the pros do, right? Like if you play pickup basketball, you probably don't play 48 minutes with a stop clock when there are fouls,
Full
right?
court.
Golf is one of the only things. Yeah. Golf is one of the only things people do where they try and treat it like they are a pro. It's super hard to do. The positive on golf is it's the only sport that most people are ever going to do where they can do something better than a pro, right? Like even if you're an awful golfer, if you play 18 holes, there's a chance that you'll hit one shot that's better than Tiger Woods would if you played all 18 holes with Tiger Woods. And certainly that's not going to be the case if you, play basketball with with Jokic or Luka or LeBron or whoever considered the best player right now. You're not even going to make contact. I'm going to be at the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby next week. Good luck standing in there even against a pitcher giving you grooving fastballs at 90 miles an hour, 95, 100. You have no chance of making contact, even if you know the pitch. Anyway, so I think that's what brings people back. But I do think, in general, if we played less than 18, golf would be more popular.
Real quick, our 40 and 40 team today at number 4, Penn State. I know you've got a personal relationship with James Franklin. Facts, he is 3-17 against top 10 teams. Do you think the criticism of James Franklin not winning big games is it warranted?
I don't think so, because how many of those times has he had the better team? Now, if you want to make the criticism, hey, he hasn't been better than the top 5 teams. He hasn't been better than Ohio State. He hasn't been better than Michigan. I think that's a different level of criticism. It's kind of funny. Imagine that he's 8-12 in those games, but he loses 5 games to teams that he should have never lost to. People probably say, oh, he can win the big game, and they don't pay attention to the 5 lesser teams that he lost to. So the big game thing to me, and I think this is always the case, big games require that you win a lot of games in order to play in big games, and nobody pays attention to those, right? Like, I remember Peyton Manning, they say, oh, he could never win the big game. Well, he's in the playoffs every year. That means he wins a lot of games. And I know it ultimately ended up winning 2 Super Bowls and going to 4. But I always think the quote-unquote big game, aspect is whatever game you lose is the big game. Whatever game you had to win to get to play in that game that matters so much as a top 5 or a top 10 team, it doesn't get counted. And a lot of times those are the ones that are the toughest. So, just think about it. From a narrative perspective, James Franklin is 8-12 against top 5 opponents or whatever you said, but he's lost to 5 unranked teams. Would you say, oh, he's way better in big games? Probably, but you would just ignore the 5 games that he lost that he should have never lost. So anyway, I think sometimes the story becomes you should lose oftentimes if you're not the best team to the better teams. Josh Heupel is 0-6, I think, against Georgia. Does that mean he can't win the big game? Or has Georgia just been better than Tennessee all 6 times? I think it's probably the latter. At some point, you got to have the better team. And look, if you're close, at some point you should win. But I think the expectations in Penn State are that they should be Ohio State and Michigan. And they aren't. They're the 3rd best team in the Big Ten, not counting Oregon, which is certainly going to be in that mix too going forward. But in a 16-team playoff, it'll be interesting to see in the future how all this plays out exactly.
All right, he is Clay Travis, at Clay Travis on social media. You see him on Fox and also the founder of Outkick. Thank you very much for the time, Clay. We'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
All right, buddy. Clay Travis with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
All right, Clay's going to be in Atlanta for SEC Media Days?
Well, he's going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah,
he said he was going to the All-Star game in Home Run
Fox
Derby.
is bringing him in for All-Star game.
Oh, fantastic. Dr. B will have LT and Brownie's hair in Atlanta as well.
Dr. B, best in the business, did my treatment for 30 minutes on the couch while I watched that extremely interesting, weird Man from Earth movie. But if you're looking to get preemptive, you started to thin out. Doesn't matter if it's in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whenever it is. You want to make sure you maintain, you even grow some back. T3's got that new test. It's so easy, painless, affordable. Takes 4 seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. There are over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. They will custom compound these agents for you in pill or topical forms. You pick and choose which agents you want. Men and women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money and critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Come see Dr. B and find out what will work. 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, t3hair.net.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shunnarah Spotlight every single day here on the show, brought to you by our guy Alexander Shunnarah, Trial Attorneys, headquartered right here in Birmingham, 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion. One thing Alexander wanted to do was create a firm that could handle any issue his community of Birmingham faced. Well, he's done that. They don't just handle personal injury claims that you're aware of, but also claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You pay nothing unless they win your case at Shunnarah.com.
Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier at different times have been the betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy this upcoming college football season, but one athlete is running away with the actual bets placed to win the Heisman. It is Arch Manning. According to the fine folks at DraftKings, Arch Manning has taken over the Heisman market. He's getting 20% of the handle, 35% of the bets at DraftKings Sportsbook. The next closest player, Jeremiah Smith, with 14% of the money and 12% of the tickets. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, this is a guy that is getting so hyped. I'll tell you guys, yesterday I was randomly driving around and I was listening to one of the ESPN shows. I know Harry Douglas was one of the hosts, but they brought up Feinbaum and they played a clip from Feinbaum and he was talking about that he believes Arch Manning is going to be the best quarterback since Tim Tebow.
Wow.
Was very out of character, I thought, for Feinbaum, but I don't know where these takes are coming from. But I will say this, if it is close, if Arch is a finalist and it is close, I think he will get benefit of the doubt because a lot of people believe his uncle was shortchanged on that.
Peyton Manning.
Oh, interesting. So they'll get a Peyton sympathy vote is what you're saying.
I mean, would you be surprised?
Maybe so. Maybe for some. I mean, it would have to be really close for that to matter, but yeah, maybe for some.
I mean, twofold there, Brownie. That much of the money on one of the favorites. Usually people try to find a dark horse sometimes, but also that Jeremiah Smith is second there, a wide receiver, not even a quarterback.
Yeah, and that part of that is because you don't know who his quarterback's, well, you know who it's going to be, but you've never seen Julian Sayin. So I think if he had a returning starter, if Julian Sayin had started last year and won the championship, or if Will Howard were just back, if Will Howard were back, he'd be in front of Jeremiah Smith.
Yes,
probably.
the Mac Jones, Devontae Smith.
So Smith actually ended up winning that, but but Jones was a finalist.
I don't know how many Ohio State people you guys have talked to. I was talking to one over the weekend, though, a huge Ohio State fan, and I was asking about Julian Sayin, and he was like, everybody is super excited. Like, we've got more expectation, and this made a little sense coming into this season with Sayin than we did last year with Will Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Will Howard was a weird fit and ended up being a really, really good quarterback.
But we thought Will Howard, we were like, I think Kansas State upgraded with Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
And how is Ohio State getting a Kansas State cast-off? Now, it didn't play out that way. But keep in mind now, early on, a lot of people were saying Ohio State was limited by Will Howard. That was a very popular talking point last year at the start of the season.
What would the Alabama quarterback room look like right now if Julian Sayin had not transferred?
He would be starting.
I know, but who wouldn't be there?
Ty Simpson.
Probably Ty Simpson, yeah.
I wonder if Keelan Russell would be there.
I don't know. I mean, how much eligibility does Sayin have left?
I think he's got 2 years.
I think he's got he was a true freshman last year.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So he's got
he's around a lot.
He's got at least 3, but if he's any good, he'll be 2-time starter, and then he'll bolt.
Yeah, I mean, Holstein was already out, so he'd be out too.
You know what nobody ever gets right? The Heisman Trophy before the season.
I was going to ask you, when's the last time the betting favorite won this thing, do you think?
I mean, did
we may have saw him earlier, Marcus Mariota, they were celebrating Hawaii, the great Hawaiian moments in sports history, and that was one of them.
I mean, I know Travis Hunter was in the conversation, but Ashton Genty and Cam Ward were not in the conversation last year. Yeah. These guys come out of nowhere, typically with really good programs that have really, really good seasons. But to say Arch Manning is that guy, it's just almost way too obvious.
I would say last year it was probably either Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers going into the season.
Yep.
Is that fair?
No, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like the preseason favorite never wins.
Milroe was a guy that people
he was definitely in the
conversation. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, and you probably don't know. I mean, you may not know, but I mean, what would your guess be? Percentage of time over the last 25 years the preseason favorites won it?
I think I just went back to Marcus Mariota. I think that's
a while back.
Yeah.
That guy's already flamed out in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, who were other guys going into the season?
I'm just saying the preseason favorite almost never wins this thing.
That's right.
But it doesn't mean they've had a bad year either.
No. but just winning the trophy.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. And I think
because you get a lot of fatigue along the way. We've been talking about Arch Manning all summer long,
Well, I mean,
and now we're getting into the season.
The last few years, Travis Hunter was in the mix. Jaden Daniels with LSU maybe was mentioned a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, everybody gets mentioned in the odds. I mean, Ty Simpson's somewhere down the list.
Caleb Williams making the transition from Oklahoma to USC. I remember he was in the conversation.
How deep was Burrow? Were there even odds on Burrow?
Bryce Young in the conversation? No, they were really, really long odds. Devontae Smith was not in the conversation.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, I really don't remember. Baker, I don't remember. Lamar was. Derrick Henry, I don't think was.
Oh, you don't think Lamar Jackson was in the conversation?
He was playing at Louisville.
No, he was. Because remember,
was he a starter a year before and then he won the Heisman the next year?
Yeah, I don't remember. So that I thought maybe he won it the second year after being a starter the first year.
Yeah, I can't remember, but the year when he came on and started against Auburn.
No, this would have been he was a sophomore, so that was probably out of nowhere. Johnny Manziel was absolutely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
RG3 at Baylor. Cam Newton was out of nowhere.
Yeah, we got to be getting close to Mariota.
No, we passed him in 2014.
I think Marcus was the last one.
I think when you're the favorite, people start to look for faults in you rather than positives in you. And like you said, it's the fatigue sets in.
And I think you're going to have, I would guess, half of people that cover college football are already going to be sick of Arch by the end of September. So I think you will have
the Ohio State game.
Yeah. Maybe by Wednesday of next week in Atlanta at SEC Media Days. All right, that's our Spotlight today, brought to you by Alexander Shunnarah. A little bit more to get to in college football coming up on the other side as we roll through this 46 days away from Week 0, show number 987. That's being brought to you in part today by our friends at Company Distilling. Tell us about Company Distilling.
I talked to my buddy Scott Banks out of Denver, Colorado this morning, who was with Company Distilling, and we are actually working on something for this fall, Wisconsin Week in Tuscaloosa. We will give you details once we have that in stone. But big news, you can now find Company Distilling in ABC stores across Alabama and states like Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, South Carolina. Whether you're picking up a bottle for a weekend gathering or just exploring something new, Company Distilling worth the pour. If you can't find it on a shelf, just ask your local store to order it in. Spirits this good deserve to be shared. Must be 21 or older to purchase. Please enjoy responsibly. For more information, CompanyDistilling.com.
Hey, if you're looking for great-looking sunglasses, if you're watching us on video like these I'm wearing, these are from our friends at Breakline Optics.
We need a better model.
Yes, the model is the only fault in this. The glasses are fantastic. They are built to last. They are fashionable, lightweight. They're made for the outdoors. These are outdoorsmen that made these glasses. They love to hunt. They love to fish. They love to play golf. They just like to look good outside when they're at the beach, at the lake, at the pool. That's what these are made for with Breakline Optics. Breakline Optics, I'm going to give you some words. When I put them together, they don't mean a whole lot to you, right? At least me. How about molded polarized Trivex lenses? And you're like, okay, that's a lot of words. What's that mean? It basically means they're indestructible, right? That's what you want when you buy a pair of sunglasses. How many of you dropped and you've broken or scratched? You don't do that with Breakline Optics. These are built to last. See more online, breaklineoptics.com. These are local guys with a national company. Good people. Breaklineoptics.com. That's breaklineoptics.com. You want to see them for yourself? Deep South Outfitters right here in Birmingham. But go online, breaklineoptics.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Hey friends, if you're looking to expand your business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us at sales@nextroundlive.com to be part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential consumers on our ever-expanding platform. Let the Next Round help take your business to the next level. Get more information by emailing us at sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
That's the one phase. We were just talking a little golf and Auburn recruiting in the commercial break. And so you can do both. You can actually do both. We were talking about fights, yelling at people with slow play, things like that. That's one of my least favorite things to see on social media, on TikTok and stuff.
I saw one today.
All these golf fights and stuff.
know.
Does it make it uncomfortable?
Oh, God, yes.
I just can't stand it. And I think people are getting more aggressive on these golf courses because they're seeing these fights on social media. Like, dude, we were not behind these guys on, I won't say what course, but we were playing a course one of the days I played on vacation. One of the days I only played 18, not 36. And somebody picked up one of my buddy's balls in the other, and then they lied and said they didn't. And then all of a sudden, mysteriously, the ball was out there again. It was in their fairway. It was a bad shot, but
that would piss me off, too.
And then they came back.
Picking the ball up.
And picked it up again and started to ride away with it. And I was like, hey. What kind of ball is that? And it was my guy's ball with 2 little marks on it and everything. And they threw it over their shoulder out of the golf cart. And I started to say something, and my entire crew was like, whoa, don't say anything, Jim. They were 4 pretty big boys, and they were into the alcohol and the little misting vape smoke coming out of their carts as they were riding off into the distance.
Didn't you have not long ago where somebody was on the tee box and Said they'd whip your ass or something?
Oh yeah, old man. I'll whip your ass, old man. That was 2 summers ago.
See,
sounds like that was a Morgan Wallen song. That was 2 summers ago.
I've never witnessed it, and I've witnessed on social media what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I've never seen it in the wild. Now I don't play a lot of golf.
Well, this was a slow day at another course I won't name, but this was a slow day where we couldn't go anywhere. And this guy had waited on us at the tee box. He was playing with his girl. He was the only one hitting. It was a single. We weren't going to let him through because we were a foursome. But first of all, my guys don't like letting anybody through. I let everybody through, but they don't. I hate letting people through. I hate having to let people through. But we can't go anywhere. But we teed off, and I'm always the shortest one off the tee box, so I'm down there. But it was a good tee shot for me. But he knows he's waited on us the last 8 holes. Is he a single?
And he's a single.
Technically, a single should just drive past you. And a single shouldn't expect to play through anybody.
There'd be nowhere for him to go because.
Well, then why would you let him through? If there's nowhere to go.
I wasn't.
Oh,
and we didn't.
Okay.
But so here we are.
Yeah.
And he'd been behind us for 8 holes. It was just a slow day. It was going to be a 5-hour, 45-minute round, and then all of a sudden the ball comes flying past me.
He hit into you?
Yeah. And I turned around. And I was like, I waved my club in the air like maybe you didn't see me. Maybe I'm in a hole. I'm right here, dude. And he comes rolling up on the hill. I haven't hit yet. He's like, sorry. And I was like, that's okay. You know, we've been waiting all day long.
Been in front of you all day, buddy.
And I stand on my ball, and he creeps a little closer in the golf cart.
Oh,
and I
that
back
drives
off,
me
and I
nuts,
look back, and I was like, it's no big deal. I'm going to hit now. And I stand over the ball again. He creeps a little closer to me.
And he's got girl with him?
Yeah. And I said, dude, I'm about to hit if you'll just hold on right now. And that's when he said, I'll kick your ass, old man.
He said that.
And I said,
amazing.
I said, well, go ahead. And my buddies were like, no, it's no big deal.
You said, well, go ahead?
Yeah, I did. I mean, at some point, you got to take an ass kick, bro.
I wish you'd said, if I win the fight, do I get the girl?
No,
that would have been a great response.
Hey, I didn't want her.
How do people get that? Do you think it's because they're playing bad golf and they get frustrated? Because
I don't know.
I would think that being out on the course is therapeutic and people are trying to have a good time.
I mean, he was going to kick my ass. There was no doubt about it. Yeah. He was about 24 and could have played linebacker at the local pipe mill pickup flag football game. This is the one I saw yesterday, Forrester. Give me Forrester's mic. This is the one I saw yesterday.
I figured this was the one you had
This
seen.
is my favorite part, though. The guy in the obnoxious shirt.
Should I get thrown in a creek?
Oh, yeah. Well, the guy in the obnoxious shirt's the one that starts yelling at the guys behind him. And he's like, well, come on, let's go, man, let's go. And dude picks him up and throws him in the lake first off.
Oh, my gosh. And then when he goes to
the one that's getting beat down is the one that was running his mouth talking.
Well, I know, but idiot, stay on the ground. You are getting
He keeps getting back up. And this guy keeps... And he keeps saying, that's enough, man, that's enough. And the guy keeps getting back up and walking towards him.
This is moronic because this guy is getting
you see how far he threw him in the air?
Yeah.
You see how far he threw him in the air?
He even started out having the high ground. He was,
So you actually get on your cart and you go back to the clubhouse. It's game over.
I can't finish around after that.
No.
Yeah.
So does he come back and try to make peace right there?
Now watch this. Now see, and the guy behind him was like, you've been up there for 23 minutes. And the guy starts running, and this guy's instigating it now. He's like, come on, man, do something about it. Do something about it.
By the way, he did.
Yeah, and he's like, and watch, he charges him first.
Yeah.
And he does indeed get the crap kicked out of him. Throws his glasses down and takes his glove off.
He gets beat to a ball.
And then watch this. He runs at him first, and then it is right into the lake, my man.
I love that the guy threw him in a lake.
Yeah, here we go. Come on.
Are you going to bump them gums or you going to run?
Charge.
Okay, you get a certain age, you shouldn't be scrapping, but on the golf course, man, that's
it's supposed to be a happy place, Lance.
And downhill, right to the water. I mean, that's a great move.
Oh, it is a great move. You don't always have a
Where
lake.
was this? Any idea?
I don't know.
South Carolina.
What's the strangest place you guys have seen a fight break out?
A wedding.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's bad.
Don't ask me to tell the story. Can't do it.
Yeah.
No, I believe that.
That was our Bo Tender moment of the day. That fight right there, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
But it can be bow time for you.
It's our Bo fight of the day. Those spices get together and they just tangle.
Cater the wedding and guests fight over the tenders.
Yes,
so you can't tell the story. I'm intrigued
not
now.
on the show.
Yeah.
I know we've got audience.
So
situation.
it's local.
It's very local.
And several sponsors.
Yeah, from sweet to heat, Bojangles has 7 sauces that will definitely add a little extra flavor to the bite. Nothing pairs better with sauces than hamburger hand-breaded tenders. If you're looking for sweet, try honey mustard. You want to add some tang with barbecue. If you're looking for some heat, try creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. If you're craving smooth and creamy house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, classic Bo sauce, ready and waiting. So head to Bojangles, order some hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today. It's Bo time.
And before LT gives us 4 downs today, 2 things. I want to tell you about our friends at New Life Art, and then I want you to hear from James Franklin, who's part of our 4 downs today. But our friends at New Life Art, there's not a Daniel A. Moore painting out there of James Franklin. That is a fact.
Never will be.
I don't think they'll get around to that one.
But there are a lot of Daniel A. Moore paintings out there to see everything he's ever painted. DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. It would be a great addition before this football season kicks off to add a great piece to your sports room. Promo code TNR, DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. Check the old ones, check the new ones, see what's in works for the future. It's all right there, DanielMooreArt.com, promo code TNR. Here's James Franklin, our 40 and 40 team. He is on the Triple Option podcast, which includes Urban Meyer and Mark Ingram. James Franklin gets asked what Penn State needs to do to prove they belong in the upper part of college football.
What does Penn State need to do on the field to prove to people, hey, we belong in this upper echelon of college football?
Yeah, well, I think a couple things. I think first thing is you got to embrace that, right? I mean, that's the nature of major college football. That's part of being at a place like Penn State. I mean, we finished 5th in the country last year, and people are pissed, right? Like that's what the Penn State job is about. You got to embrace that. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. We've been as consistent as any program in the country. We've been as consistent at Penn State that Penn State's ever been since joining the Big Ten. So I'm proud of all those things. But I also understand, fully embrace that we got to take that next step. And it's winning those games that you're talking about. We totally understand that. And, we're excited about it. That's what this year is all about taking those steps. Like Mark brought up, we got a core group of guys coming back that we're going to rely on heavily. But we can't wait. And I think one of the things that we're doing, a good job of is balancing that with also not doing what a lot of programs do as well, which lose the games that you're not supposed to lose. We've done a really good job of that. And what I don't want to do is now we put such an emphasis on these other games that now we end up losing some teams that we're not supposed to. So that's the balancing act. And I'm proud of the staff and I'm proud of the players of how we're approaching it. And we got a tremendous opportunity to change that conversation and change that narrative.
I don't know that there is if you looked at schedules right now, I'm not talking about what happens during the season, like, coach fighting for his job at the end of the year. If you just look at the schedule right now based on everything we know, I can make an argument that in the entire college football season, regular season, right now, there's not a coach under more pressure in a game than James Franklin in that Oregon game. They host Oregon. These are the games he never wins.
Okay, just off the top of my head.
All right, go.
Hugh Freeze in the Baylor game.
That's a lot of pressure, but again, Hugh Freeze loses that game and starts winning SEC games. That'll get forgotten. James Franklin loses that Oregon game. The only thing that can forget that one is beating Ohio State in Columbus or advancing in the college football playoffs. And those are two really difficult
which
things
is what
to
happened
do.
last year. You advanced in the college football playoffs and the season felt different.
Yep.
Kalen DeBoer's got a couple of tricky home games in Tennessee and LSU.
Yep. No, I mean, those are tough. But, I mean, I'm just saying with everything stacked up on James Franklin, that Oregon game represents everything that is hanging over him. You never win big games. You don't win big games in conference. And if he can't beat Oregon, it is only going to get amplified. And then the only other option you got is winning in Columbus.
Who's got more pressure this year, Franklin or Steve Sarkisian?
Well, the other one would be Sark in Columbus. I knew you were going to go there.
Oh, I don't. That's just two big brands butting heads, two national championship contenders.
Yeah, I think
the
more
loser of that game is going to say we may see that. That may be a preview of the national championship game. We may see that game again.
No, I think individual games in the SEC for Sark, when you go to Florida, when you've got Oklahoma neutral site, when you go to Georgia, when you go to A&M.
Yeah, I think I think there's more pressure on Hugh Freeze against Baylor than there is James Franklin against Oregon. I think there's more pressure on Hugh Freeze against Baylor than there is Sark or Ryan Day.
So you think, looking at the schedule right now, the most pressurized coaching game in all of college football this season is Hugh Freeze in week 1?
Not the biggest one, but just off the top of my head, of the ones you've named so far, Hugh loses that first game to Baylor.
That's bad, but Franklin to lose at home to Oregon would not be good.
What week is that game?
It's the same week, the Oregon game.
Yeah.
Same week Alabama plays Georgia. Week 5, it's their 4th game.
Yeah. I mean, the bucket's not big enough to bail the water out of the Auburn ship for Hugh Freeze if they lose that Baylor game.
My God.
I mean, he's almost toe tagged if you were to lose.
I mean,
y'all really think that?
I'm just trying to get him to the Baylor game right now. I'm just trying to get him to the game.
Hey, see if he teed off yesterday.
There is zero chance he's posting scores, y'all. Golf Digest did an article on it. He will not post another score, maybe ever.
Well, can you check and see if Jill played? Because don't they play together?
No, that's the rumor.
I am telling you, my closest friends are Auburn people.
Right.
That's who I play golf with all the time. They're Auburn grads who married Auburn women, and they are so frustrated. And they play golf more than Hugh does. They're on the course with me all the time. And they're like, just this and that. There's something bad every day, they say.
I mean, that's
the fan base.
That's a lot of golf. And when you're not winning.
He's still at 11 scores in June. He has not posted one in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he is not.
It was very wet in June. That's impressive.
That was a lot of golf. We had a lot of rain in June.
Yeah. Some of that had to be done in Florida.
They're all home.
Did he play here at Wicker?
Yeah.
Got out.
He dodged some raindrops.
Yeah, they're all home courses, or home scores.
A couple of Big 12 things here that just have been announced by Brett Yormark. I want y'all's reaction to that. And at the top of the hour, make sure you scribble down however deep you want to go, 5, 6, 7. They won't give us a media ranking from the Big 12 Media Days today, but we'll give you ours coming up in the next segment. Show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson, LT.
205-969-8100. I got the procedure done in 2003. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Okay, Brett Yormark is speaking right now. He's the commissioner of the Big 12 at Big 12 Media Days. He reiterates, according to Ross Dellinger, that they are in favor of the 5-11 model that they say the Big 12 and the ACC introduced. The SEC is now backing that one. Quote, we continue to believe in the 5-11 model. It's the right playoff model. We want to earn it on the field. We are not the NFL when talking about the Big Ten's desire to have auto bids for the Big Ten, the SEC, and the others, and then have a play-in sort of weekend for the Big Ten and the SEC if they choose to do that. Your thoughts first on Brett Yormark there saying they are all in on 5-11.
I mean, I'm not surprised in that. Why would the Big 12 commissioner, other than getting more money out of it, be for a plan that guarantees the Big Ten and the SEC guaranteed spots?
Because it guarantees you two
spots.
Well, that would be the only reason. That or money would be the only reason.
Well, it guarantees you two.
So
he says this year I expect us to have multiple bids in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Let me just paint this scenario for you. Big 12 champion is 9-3. They win the Big 12 championship game, so they're 10-3.
Okay, they're
automatically
in.
Yeah. But they don't have a team that's not 9-3. That's a two-loss team. They have 3 losses.
I don't think they get 2 in.
Because 9-3 didn't get you in last year.
No.
Right?
No.
The Big 12 champion will be somewhere between 10 and 15. The Big 12 loser championship game will not be in the top 12, in my opinion.
I think every other year the Big 12 will get 2 in. So I think they're making a mistake with the 5-11. I like the 5-11. I think I'm in the minority here. I don't think you guys like the 5-11.
Oh, I'm fine with the 5-11.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't necessarily. I don't think it's necessary to have the guaranteed spots because I think the Big 10 and the SEC are always going to have 4 when we go to 16.
But if I'm the Big 12, I don't want the 5-11. I want the 2 guaranteed spots.
Yeah, I would rather have the 2 guaranteed spots. If I was the ACC, I'd take the 2 guaranteed spots because what that does is guarantee me I'm still going to have a conference. And the other way, that creates a lot of excitement on that play-in Saturday when 6 and 3 and 4 and 5 are playing each other. So that's my opinion on that. The other Yormark thing was the comment about being too guaranteed to be in. That's not a guarantee. Hey, the media guides, I didn't know they still had these, but media guides at Big 12 Media Day. And remember, Rich Rod is at West Virginia, and they got the cover.
Look at him.
There's the old media guide, waking up the echoes. There's some old Rich Rod pictures when he was the coach up there.
Do you think if he never left, he'd still be there?
I don't know.
If
he never left.
Interesting question, right?
So he's died, Lance?
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying.
I don't think he would have coached there that long, no. I think he would have retired at some point.
God, it was such a good fit.
It was.
Yeah. He's bringing back the exact old helmets, too, though.
Can he bring back Steve Slayton and Pat White?
Boy, those two together.
That'd be a good combination. But I did see they unveiled, they'd gone to a matted look on their home helmet. They brought back the shiny helmet with the WV, which is mountains, right? The WV make mountains.
Oh, I've always thought it was the shape of West Virginia. You think it makes mountains?
I've never been to that state.
I've heard
nothing positive about it.
I've driven through a little piece of it. So how do you interpret this, Lance? Because we're 1-1. The WV, does that look like the state of West Virginia?
Boy, I've never really thought about this. Let me
give me Google the state of West Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
And it's got the little stick arm.
Yeah. But you see why I'm saying it's the mountains, the mountains of West Virginia.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, they're Mountain Mama, Brownie.
What is their state motto? Everything's relative?
See,
everyone's a relative.
Everybody's relative.
Okay, so where?
Yeah. I mean, now that I look at it,
guess.
I mean, Brownie.
It goes much further west beyond the stick than you imagine it does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You see Clay County right there in the middle. Do you think?
But you see,
you guys making shine there today?
I mean, you see my mountains. Go back to the logo. You see what I'm saying?
I do see the mountains.
Are they Blue Ridge? Is that what?
Blue Ridge, Shenandoah River.
I mean, those are mountains to me.
Yeah, and now that I look at it, Jim, right there in the middle, and then at the top, you're probably more accurate than I am. I always thought it was a representation of the state.
Yeah, I just thought it was initials.
Yeah.
I just thought it stood for West Virginia.
Yeah.
You were always great in those psychiatrist tests.
Yeah.
Those spots.
What is that?
Looks like 3 spots.
Looks like you spilled ink on paper.
What do those spots mean? Just 3 spots to me, like you're sloppy.
No, but I mean, like if you showed somebody that has never watched college football the picture of the state of West Virginia and I don't think that they would think there's a correlation at all.
I'm going to own that I was wrong on this
I've
one.
never heard that, Brand. I was going to be amazed if that was exactly right.
I mean, the only thing is that little V or the bottom of the V in between, what is that, Preston and Mineral
right
County?
There where Maryland.
I mean, who are you, James Spann? You're right there at the corner of 47 and 17, right there at Nick's Barbecue.
There's a chevron there, brother and sister, run it.
Man, how do you get the territory that jagged, like that specific?
Yeah.
What's weird is how
family dispute, I'm sure.
It's along a very straight line on the northern border right there, and then it turns, and then it gets super jagged after that. There's a river involved, obviously.
Yeah. Pennsylvania and Ohio also is right there. And
that little corner is the part of Maryland that they share, and I don't know what river that is, but there's got to be a river.
I think something that never gets uttered is, where are you going on vacation? West Virginia.
Greenbrier's there.
That's true.
Very popular destination.
That's where
What is that?
It's a golf hotel. It's a fascinating story.
That's where in case of Armageddon, that's where we'd send Congress.
They built, during World War II, they built an underground Congress at this place, at the Greenbrier in West Virginia, so that if Congress ever had to be evacuated from D.C., they could safely have them underground there and still operate.
Ironically, we're the only country in the world that have the bombs that could actually bomb and penetrate
That's right.
that deep into the ground.
Which, if I'm Congress, I'm like, wait a second.
I think that's one.
Wait a second. We're the only ones that can blow this place up.
We've had a civil war before, right?
Wait, just 1 second. Who's got those bombs?
We're going to need you all to go in there right now.
Please, lock that door. Lock that door.
1,000 feet below ground, I think. Or is it 800? Something like that. It's way down there.
Yeah. I think now they take tourists down to see it because it's non-functional now.
It's way. Oh, it is.
I wouldn't even be comfortable going down that underground that far, would you?
Yeah. We don't need that.
You never know.
No, I'm sure we got places.
You never know.
So look, it says formally. The top secret bunker right there.
Well, it used to be top secret.
Oh,
Now
it's
not
formerly top secret. Now we just talk about it all.
Now AI has it.
When the PGA Tour plays there, we discuss
How many
it.
feet?
Oh, I guarantee I could ask my robot how to break into that thing and it'd tell you.
Yeah, well, you need an elevator or a big chisel.
I mean, it's deep in there.
Yeah, that's going to get you to the resort there.
Yeah.
Built in 1913.
Oh, it's old. Yeah, it's old. Now, the guy that used to own it nearly went bankrupt. He's a U.S. senator now. I actually met him in D.C.
Did you?
Jim Justice. And he was governor of West Virginia, and he nearly bankrupted himself with that joint, trying to keep it open, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, you said the guy that built it?
The guy that owned it.
Okay.
I don't know if his family built it or not, but he owned it.
Ironically, the Saints oftentimes go there for their camp.
Yeah.
Preseason camp.
I bet you Harp's got some stories from that place, because I
bet he does
bet
too.
when he was with the Saints, they went there. 720 feet underground.
I was close at 800.
Yeah.
Stabbing cabin in the bunker.
I mean.
That is way down there.
Yeah.
That's so deep into earth that the floor is hot from hell.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think
a little warm.
The devil, if it gets too loud, the devil hits it with
You'll
his pitchfork?
hold it down up there.
Well, people that you join the Mile High Club, is it the opposite?
The Mile Deep?
Yeah, if
All right.
you go in earth.
We'll do our Big 12 projections and talk more college football. And also, I'm excited about this. Yahoo has the NFL All-Century team through the first 25, all-quarter century team. We're the biggest snubs. We'll do that coming up in the next half hour as well on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill Services, one of these great family-owned companies that we've trusted in Alabama since the 1950s.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. The guys there, tell them the next round sent you. If you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of these issues. For more information, 205-229-2090. or hemphillservices.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
New Life Art is proud to announce Daniel A. Moore's upcoming Alabama basketball painting, Buzzer Beater. Closing out the regular season, Alabama and Auburn faced off in a top 10 matchup. With less than 1 second remaining in overtime and the game tied at 91, Mark Sears launched a 15-foot floater that sealed the Tide's victory. Visit DanielMooreArt.com and see the artist's preliminary sketch of this historic Bama win. And take advantage of special pre-production pricing for Buzzer Beater.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that quality legal services be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. First of all, great humans. Forget the cook that Sterling is and the margarita maker that Megan is down there. Sterling owns this thing. He has for over a decade at this location in Alabaster Highway 119. And just absolutely the best fried chicken you'll ever taste. It's brined overnight and cooked to order. And Sterling takes great pride that no matter when you come in to Champy's over the last decade or the next decade to come, he wants you to have a tremendous experience. So he's created this wonderful atmosphere with great food that's very consistent, so good. Everything from hand-cut chicken fingers to the Mississippi recipe, Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. All right there at Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go tell Sterling we told you to stop by and tell him hi for us. All right. Time now to unveil our, if you missed it, we told you last week the Big 12 decided they're not going to do a media poll because last year Arizona State was picked at media days by the media to finish 16th.
So weak.
Yeah. So they finished 16th in the media poll. They end up winning the league and going to the playoffs and almost winning a playoff game. So 16th this year, ironically, in my opinion, would be Arizona.
Probably will be there.
The rival.
Yeah.
Little doubt they would roll around. So I have mine. I did all 16, so you guys don't have
I'm
to
only
do
going to
that.
do 5, Lance.
I'm only going to do 5.
All right.
Top 5, top 6, it's fine either way. I'd love to see where you guys are. My bottom, I'll go ahead and give you my bottom 5 as you lock it in. Arizona is 16. West Virginia is 15. Sorry, Rich Rod. UCF is 14. Sorry, Scott Frost. Oklahoma State is 13. Sorry, Gundy. Cincinnati is 12. Sorry, Scott Satterfield. Where is your top 6, LT? Give them to me, or top 5.
Top 5, I'm going with Iowa State at number 5.
Okay.
At number 4, Texas Tech, the money's going to pay off a little bit, but not to the degree they want it to. At number 3, Utah, big bounce back year for Kyle Whittingham. That program is way too good to be held down, especially in a average Big 12. Number 2, BYU, Retzlaff. I would have flipped them, but I got Kansas State now at number 1. I think they win the Big 12. I think Avery Johnson has a really good season. I like Chris Kleiman.
Well, hold yours, Brown. Wait a second. Now, best quarterback, you agreed, Sam Leavitt.
Yep.
Most talented wide receiver, in my opinion,
Jordan Tyson.
Is Tyson at Arizona State. You don't have him in the top 5.
Scatterboo bailed them out of a million different games. They had so many one-possession wins. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. Kenny Dillingham is way too cocky. I think it bites him in the ass. I think they're going to be good, but I think like 8-4.
Okay, Brownie?
We're going to go Kansas State number 1 now. I would have BYU. I'll just go and tell you, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, before the Retzlaff, BYU's right here at number 1.
Okay.
Bump everybody down. All
Be
right?
honest before you go on.
Okay.
Did you peek over to see him having Utah?
Nope. I got him higher than he does. He's got him.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know. Utah. I mean, Eileen, I'm going to be honest with you. You want honesty?
Yeah.
Would you like for me to be honest?
You have no idea who the starting quarterback is at Utah?
I do not. And also, I lean very heavily on the Vegas odds, even though the Arizona State. You know, we bang on the preseason media poll. What do you think Arizona State was to win the conference last year in Vegas?
I'm going to say 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, if that.
By the way, I think the quarterback is going to be Isaac Wilson.
Okay, at Utah?
Yeah,
that's Zach Wilson's brother, right? And former BYU quarterback.
And he was very inconsistent, kind of thrown into the mix last year, but I think he's going to be much improved.
But see, Jim, I'm not like most people. When I do preseason polls, I don't just look at quarterback. I go deeper than that.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, number 3, my billionaire.
You should at least know the name of the quarterback, though.
I don't just look at it, though. Iowa State, number 4, and Arizona State, number 5 for me.
I think Utah starts off 6-0. I do.
Yeah.
I got Arizona State winning it. Kansas State second. Baylor third. You guys know nobody makes Baylor in the top 5.
I like Baylor too. Again, I just think it's such a cluttered conference. I think TCU is going to be good.
Iowa State 4, Utah 5, Texas Tech is 6 for me, TCU 7. I got Houston sliding in about mid-tier, 8 or 9. I think Houston, Kansas about the same year. Big step forward, Willie Fritz, this year at Houston.
Could be. It needs to be because there's a lot of money behind that program. And to Kansas, Lance Leopold is one of the better coaches in all of college football. And, again, when you get a healthy Jalen Daniels, that offense can be really good.
Hey, by the way,
what are we being quiet?
Oh, by the way, I don't feel good about this
No,
at all.
not at all. You could
Not
throw,
at all.
I mean, you could throw this away.
Don't tell the Big 12 we did that. But we did a preseason ranking of them.
I mean,
We're the only one
I
in the
think
market.
that is so freaking soft for them not to do that.
Is that why they did it, though?
No,
I mean,
just odd timing, Brownie. You did it one year, you didn't do it this year.
It's the first time they've never done it.
Yeah. Big Ten doesn't do it either.
They don't do it, but they haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, I don't
but
think
it's the media, right?
I don't think every whistling Joe over in Atlanta should get the vote. I don't. Truthfully, if I didn't get a vote, I wouldn't blame them.
I get a vote and I don't use it. Somebody can have mine.
I used to love it. I just don't do it anymore.
I don't do it anymore.
I think everybody gets credential, gets votes.
Yep.
I think they still do it that way, right?
As long as you hit the deadline. They give us a deadline. You got to hit that.
Yeah. I don't think everybody should get the vote. I think our buddy Chuck Dunlap at the SEC should be selective and only select the Josh Pates of the world.
You're trying to kiss back up to Peyton now?
No ball and wear their dunks.
What does it matter, though?
But
It really doesn't.
To let 1,000 people vote, sometimes I think the more it gives you a chance to weed out the extremes, and that gives you a little bit of a true testament.
But you're always going to end up with that one in parentheses next to Vandy or Mississippi State because some dumb radio guy's like, oh, you know what you ought to do with your vote? Pick Vandy. And okay, I'll do it.
Well, the only names I recognized
should vote for
were Dave Scroggins and Bo O'Neill, but I'm going to call them dumbasses for having Penn State number 1.
Wow.
I mean, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Don't forget Aaron and
I just didn't know their names.
Rusty and David. They're out there too. All
That's
right.
it. You said that was 10% of our voting population.
Well,
that voted
46. Brown, you tell me
4.6 would be 10%.
5 out of 5 votes for first place to win it all out of 46 voters. I think that works out to be
I'd go
about
11%.
Yeah.
10.8%.
Yeah, it's 11%.
11%.
And I guarantee 11. If the Big Ten voted, 11% of their voters would not have Penn State winning the conference.
Winning the conference.
You think so? You're saying at Ohio State?
Ohio State would be 1, Oregon would be 2, and then Penn State would be 3.
I think you're right about that.
You're calling you did have Penn State the lowest of any of our voters. You and J.D. Thorne had them 10.
Well, it's just one of those things. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I have in 1986 when they didn't have a conference affiliation. We had a weird bowl system. It's been a long time.
Hey, by the way, it's official now before we get to the NFL. Grand Canyon is officially entering the Mountain West.
That's a good get for the Mountain West.
They do not play football, I do not think.
I don't think they do either. Really good baseball and basketball programs.
But in basketball, and remember Alabama played them the year they went to the Final Four, and we learned how big their student body is because it's also a very widely popular internet school. You can do it online all over the country and the world. But their student body showed up in Spokane, a huge crowd up there.
How do you become that internet? Like Arizona State's got a big internet.
I think Troy does too.
I think so too.
They do, yeah. I don't know. I think Troy was very much on the cutting edge of it. They were on the front end of it. Somebody there saw the value of it early.
And it worked out for them.
Yeah, I don't know about Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Well, good for Grand Canyon to join the Mountain West, and good for the Mountain West. Okay, a couple of sponsors here, and then we'll talk NFL. Yahoo with an amazing list of their all-quarter century team. And that includes, like, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs. So the first 25 years of this NFL century. After we tell you that the show is being brought to you by our friends, Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys.
Yeah, you never pay a dime unless they win your case at Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. His mission, Alexander's, was to create a firm that could handle any issue the Birmingham community faced. The firm now handles not only any personal injury claim, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com.
I made my quickest trip ever to the New York Butcher Shop yesterday. The Highway 119 location. Walked straight in, grabbed the Italian meatballs, paid for them, walked out. Did it with the butternut squash ravioli last night. Absolutely fantastic. All the food at the New York Butcher Shop, from the great house-made sides to the incredible meats, from the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Get in, see Jim and that incredible staff. 2 locations. The one I was at, Highway 119 in Greystone, the original Cahaba Heights. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
All right, I'll need to pull this up if we're going to talk about it. Yahoo Sports did their all-century team, and it gets very interesting just when you start at quarterback. Now think about this. This is 25 years.
I mean, it's got to be Tom Brady.
Does it have to be Tom Brady?
Yes. My gosh, the last 25 years, Tom Brady.
It's still got to be Brady in front of Mahomes.
I'm not saying he's the best overall athlete, but with his accomplishment, he's the NFL all-time leading passer.
And he didn't win his first until 2001.
Yeah, he's won more Super Bowls than anybody. It's got to be Brady.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest position.
It is Tom Brady.
Normally, you would say it's the toughest position, honestly. 25 years of NFL quarterbacks.
I am fascinated to see receivers.
But look at this. Biggest snubs, though. I mean, you're saying over Peyton Manning, over Aaron Rodgers,
no problem.
Over Patrick Mahomes.
No problem with any of those.
Okay.
How many receivers do they go?
I think 3. Let's do running backs next, though. 2 running backs.
Oh, I would go. I think I would go Derrick Henry.
He's in the snub list.
Oh, wow. Last 25 years, huh?
Yep. That takes you back to 2000, Brownie.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's hurt too much.
In the snub list.
Yeah. I think another guy, Saquon Barkley's been hurt too much.
Adrian Peterson.
Not even snubbed on Barkley. Not even mentioned. Adrian Peterson is one of the 2.
The other one would have, I mean, if it's not Derrick Henry.
I mean, could it be? It can't be Jerome Bettis. He had too much in the 90s.
Nope. Clinton Portis got snubbed. Marshawn Lynch snubbed. Frank Gore snubbed. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
Yep.
So Tomlinson and Peterson at running back.
Okay.
Wide receivers, the snub list is unbelievable.
Okay, well, I do feel really good that I can get 2 of the 3 for sure.
We talked about one yesterday.
You're gonna make a mistake, I promise you. And one of your 2.
Calvin Johnson is going to be one.
Calvin Johnson is one of the 3.
The other one we talked
Larry
about. Larry
Fitzgerald's got to be one of them.
There.
It is the biggest flaw in this. Now I don't do offensive linemen. I don't do offensive linemen. I don't know the position well enough. But it's the biggest snub of the entire list, any position, in my opinion. Larry Fitzgerald snub.
I mean, Lance yesterday was arguing that he might be the best
ever.
Yeah.
Is Andre Johnson on there?
Andre Johnson is not even mentioned in the snub.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. I mean, that position, in fairness, in 25 years, has had some goats.
Is T.O.?
Terrell Owens is a starter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a
Larry
problem.
Fitzgerald.
I don't have a problem with that.
Is Torrey Holt on there? He needs to be.
Torrey Holt is, I'm sorry for the Rams.
First Ram mentioned.
First not even a snub.
First of many.
Well, when I do the snubs, there's one that does not belong in there, but the rest are pretty darn good.
So there's 3 receivers. We've got Calvin Johnson and Terrell Owens.
You can't go Justin Jefferson yet.
Randy Moss is the other one that's
Okay.
actually on the
Again,
list.
no problem with that.
So Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Terrell Owens.
Lance, I really do like Larry Fitzgerald too, but man, if you're telling me it's those three, I'm not really going to argue.
I would put Fitzgerald ahead of Terrell Owens.
Yeah, T.O. so many drops. Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald's such a much better receiver.
But you got no problem with Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss being in front of him. Okay.
Antonio Brown.
He was great for a minute.
Great.
Julio Jones, I have no problem with that.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson, I have no problem with that.
Stephon Diggs?
No Stephon Diggs.
Devontae Adams?
Jamar Chase, I've got no problem with that. And the guy that sort of a problem with is Tyreek Hill for me. I didn't love Antonio Brown. I don't love Tyreek Hill. I think you guys named some guys that I would put up there ahead of them.
I mean, I would not have Tyreek Hill on the all team, but I think a snub, he's in that discussion. He was fantastic.
Andre Johnson not being there.
I mean, I would put Mike Evans ahead of Tyreek Hill or Antonio Brown.
Mike Evans, unfortunately, this is an insult to your team, but I think you'll accept that he plays in the shadows a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's what happened to Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
Played on a lot of bad teams. Tight end. There's only one of them.
Better not be Kelsey. I would say it's Antonio Gates.
Snub, Antonio Gates.
How many years in the last? I mean, Tony Gonzalez played a lot in the last 25 years.
Tony Gonzalez, snub.
Okay.
Should have been the winner, by the way.
I mean, I would have him there. I think a lot of people still consider him the best.
I would go Gates.
I bet they went Gronk.
They went Gronkowski.
Okay. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Snubs were Kelsey, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, George Kittle, and Jason Witten. Tackles, guards, and centers.
Just tell me Orlando Pace is on there.
Second round mention.
Joe Thomas has got to be.
Offensive tackles, Trent Williams, Walter Jones. Joe Thomas is a snub. Peters is a snub. Ogden, Tyron Smith, Lane Johnson, Orlando Pace.
That was a tough category. Listen to those snubs.
Guards are Zach Martin and Alan Faneca.
Faneca.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Center is Jason Kelsey. Marquise Pouncey and some others are snubs. Defensive linemen, there are three of them.
Lance wants to know if Aaron Donald is on there.
I know he's there.
What if I told you it was a snub?
Oh, there's impossible.
No, Aaron Donald is one of the three.
Who else are we going to have on there? Chris Smith?
Chris Smith is not even snubbed. Oof. The other two on the list, J.J. Watt and Warren Sapp. Snubs are.
Well, I was going to say Sapp, but boy, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't get enough years in the last 25.
Yeah, I mean,
but I guess he did.
Started in the
94,
90s.
95.
Yeah, 94, 95.
2000, 2001. They won the Super Bowl in 2002.
That's why I left him off.
Geno Atkins, Cameron Haywood, Kalis Campbell, Kevin Williams, and Adamakan Suh, snubs. Edge rushers.
Jared Verse.
Not yet. Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt.
Yeah, I got no problem with either of those.
Von Miller's got to be a snub, right?
Julius Peppers, Von Miller, Terrell Suggs, Jared Allen, who's a stud.
Yep. All those guys.
And Jason Taylor. Linebacker, only two.
There are two
Ray
linebackers.
Lewis.
Ray Lewis has got to be one of them.
Ray Lewis is one of them.
The other, I mean, I tell you, if you told me it was Micah Parsons, I wouldn't argue with you, but I don't think it's going to be him. Is he even a snub?
Not even a snub yet.
Micah Parsons is fabulous.
I mean, could it be Derek Brooks?
That's who I would have put in there. He's a snub.
Okay.
Luke Kuechly is the other guy.
Okay.
Well, I mean, injury cut short his career, but he was
20 tackles a game.
I know, he was really good for Carolina when he played.
Patrick Willis, Bob Navarro Bowman, Derek Brooks, and Brian Urlacher.
So Patrick Willis, not even.
Yeah, Patrick Willis. I said Patrick there. Cornerbacks. There are three.
I mean, I don't know. We named Revis Island after Darrelle Revis, but was he good enough long enough?
He's on
okay.
there, yeah.
All right. I was just making sure.
Is Chris McAllister there?
He is not. I don't know who that is.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Ramsey on there?
He is a snub. Yep. So he made it close.
Charles Woodson?
Charles Woodson is one of the three, correct.
Oh, there are three corners?
Three corners. Which makes it a triangle?
So you got we're playing a nickel. So you got Darrelle Revis, you got Charles Woodson.
Yep.
God, I would have said Chris McAllister.
That's going to be one of the Patriots.
It is not a Patriot, I don't think.
Who is it?
Champ Bailey.
Oh, okay. It's a different Bronco.
Rondé Barber, Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, Jalen Ramsey, snub. Safeties,
Ed Reed, for
two of
sure.
those.
Yeah.
Ed Reed is one.
100% Ed Reed.
And they'll probably go Sean Taylor, and he was, killed like 2 or 3 years in, but everybody.
Not even a snub.
Okay.
He was. I thought he was the best of all time.
Sympathy vote a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
he was really good. Earl Thomas
is a snub. The guy I would put in there with Ed Reed is a snub. Brian Dawkins, snub.
Eric Berry, snub.
Not even snub. John Lynch, snub. The other guy is Troy Polamalu.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Yep.
Ed Reed.
No.
And I actually thought he was better than Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Kicker.
Justin Tucker.
Even with what's going on.
Even with what's going on.
It's
got to be.
The guy never missed.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker is the guy.
Yeah.
Vinatieri is, and
His
David
second?
Akers.
Yeah.
And Sean Leckler. is
Shane
the punter.
Leckler.
Shane Leckler.
Shane Leckler,
Yeah.
excuse me. And there
Best
is
thing to ever come out of A&M.
there is no snubs in kick return. It's the only position with no snubs.
Oh, Devin Hester.
Devin Hester.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I randomly, TikTok serves me up old NFL games, and Dante Hall was in one of them in Kansas City. Do you remember how great he was in fantasy football? Because he would return a kick every other game.
I just remember like 8 games into the season, he was your MVP favorite, and I forgot what season it was.
I know, but I mean, for a minute, Dante Hall was as good as you could get in fantasy football.
Yeah. By the way, with the NFL season, the exhibition season starts at the end of this month. There are 6 teams that are on an extended drought. Now, the NFL turns over, so some of these 6 have only missed the playoffs for 4 years. Which one do you think ends their drought the first? New Orleans, they've only missed by 4. Colts, they've missed 4 years. The Bears have missed 4 years. The Panthers have missed 7. The Falcons have missed 7, and the Jets have missed 14.
3 teams jump out to me.
Which drought ends first?
I'd go Bears of all of them.
Yeah, Bears, Panthers, Falcons. Because I think the Panthers or Falcons could win your division this year. I think the Bears are going to be much improved offensively.
So
Ben
those
Johnson
threes.
take it over. Yeah, those 3 really jump out to me.
Yeah.
Still have no confidence in the Jets. Who else did you say?
And Indianapolis
Colts?
and New Orleans.
No.
I mean, New Orleans they're playing for the first pick next year.
Yeah. In this order, I would go Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis, Carolina, Jets, Saints.
Lance is right about Atlanta and Carolina. Being in that division helps. I mean, with all due, again, taking a total shot at your division, you know it, you watch it.
Not this year.
Maybe not this year, but there are years where it feels like 9 wins get you there.
Man,
we're about to win 10.
Okay.
I think Bryce Young, the way he played at the end of the year, watch out.
Watch out for Carolina, Lance says.
One more thing after I tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Guys, early detection literally saves your life, and that's where UCA, one way they can help you out. 205-930-0920, 930-0920, Urology Centers of Alabama, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Prostate health, man, that's one thing that if you catch it early, almost a 100% success rate on keeping you alive and securing your health in the future. That's why when you move from your 20s to your 30s, check in with our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama and let them stay on top of your health. Anything from prostate health to kidney stones, vasectomies, they do it all. 16 locations, 35 urologists, 205-930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. All right, so Josh Allen just got married. Haley Steinfeld, right?
Yep.
He's 29, she's 28. Take note, Bill Belichick. So what you're gonna do? You got a little bachelor pad at Dana Point down on the Southern California coastline, private beach, basically within a short walk or a bike ride or a roll to the Ritz-Carlton in the same guarded neighborhood.
Can you imagine having to spend time with this guy 24/7?
Ooh, Josh Allen, I would hate it.
Oh,
He's always complaining about dinner, like, why was it cooked so long?
So here is he's putting his bachelor pad up for sale, $8.4999 million. It includes a private beach just down from the Ritz-Carlton. Wonderful piece of property overlooking the Pacific Ocean. or as I sometimes mispronounce, Pacific Ocean, but the Pacific Ocean is very specifically Pacific. And
you know what he don't have a picture of? The Pacific Ocean on his TV.
There's no Lombardi Trophy in there either, Lance.
He paid $7.2 million for it.
He's got no island.
Four bed.
That's Cali kitchen.
4 bedrooms, 3 baths.
He's one of the poorest, Tyler.
I couldn't be caught dead in that house. Private island.
We need Brad Bell on that joint.
Pretty good looking place, though.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, very white, very modern design.
Yeah, my next house, I want one level. I want a ranch.
Yep, Dana Point, right off of Dana Point.
Stairs are overrated.
Overrated the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Brown, looked a little small to be.
I agree.
8 point something million.
If we don't win a Super Bowl, Jim, hard to have a mansion.
Yeah, that'd be. What would that be? $2 million in Greystone?
Oh, if that. No. I don't think they'd let that in Greystone.
Yeah, I think that's like 1.2 maybe.
Maybe like a single level.
If you would have asked me price point on that, even in Dana Point, which I know is exclusive, I would have said $4 million.
Yeah. I assume that they don't picture the beach, which surprised me.
Yeah,
the private beach. I wanted to see that.
Private beach access is what you read.
And
there.
the view.
And private beach access.
No, not access. You have a private beach.
That doesn't mean your property touches it, though.
Damn, is that like
what I'm saying?
One of those hot tubs they just roll in from like the factory direct warehouse or whatever? Can you go back one picture?
It'll cycle around.
Yeah.
Factory direct.
You know what I'm talking about? Like you would think that Josh Allen with an $8 million house would have a custom spa. Like, that was the stand up on the
right there.
I love
you see it?
I love us tearing it up at $8.5 million.
You thought it would be built into the ground?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you?
I mean, but truthfully, Brown, that fence looks pretty shoddy too.
Time for a new fence.
It does.
I mean, I'd have to go out and re-nail one of those planks up again because my little dog keeps getting out.
No, that's I think.
I don't know how you live like this.
I really don't either, Scott. In squalor, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jim. When they say private beach access, that could mean like you're part of a private beach, but you're not
keep
on
going
it.
Access. It has a private beach.
That's what
it does
they
not
say.
The word access.
But you know what is not in the photos? A private beach. And if I'm selling private beach for $8.5 million, it's going to be in the photos, or at least the view.
Do you get the furniture? Or does it come furnished? It has to for that price point. Now, I will say his backyard chairs look more Walmart than front gate, but
what else can we tear up?
I do like those chairs at that table there. I can reach.
Those are the fuzzy ones too.
I can reach around and pull stuff out of my back pocket.
I mean, it is a bit of a cramped den. Look at that. Tight quarters.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's got closet space.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's enough on Josh Allen, Brown's favorite quarterback.
I'd sell it too.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler, he's selling this thing before the bank takes it. He's got to get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if somebody offered him 6 today, he'd take it.
Hey, I know she's done well. Like she's got top 10 hits, and she's Academy
Perfect
Award
movie,
nominee.
yeah.
She's in Sinners. But if I'm Josh Allen, I'm still signing a prenup.
Well, they may be moving into her place.
Could be.
Maybe her place is better.
She was like, "Sell this rat
I mean,
trap."
He's with endorsements. He's probably $70 million a year.
She walked into that hot tub in the back and went, "We're selling this place. We're keeping my place. My hot tub's built into the ground with real rocks."
You bought this hot tub from a commercial with a guy yelling.
And get a new fence.
No island.
When we come back, we've got trash, and will Clayton Kershaw be the last 3,000 strikeout pitcher we ever see? Don't forget the pennant race comes up later today, 12:15. EG and Josh will talk about Braves baseball. They get to play in a minor league park tonight out in Sacramento, 9:05 start time. They'll talk about that on the pennant race coming up at 12:15 today. The show right here being brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Whether it's hot or cold, LT, the folks at Hemphill take care of you.
205-229-2090. Make the phone call that I make way too much, whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And our buddy Sterling and the crew at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster, always bringing you the final hour of the show and always bringing you the best tailgate food possible. Hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, chicken that's brined overnight. It's just such good food. And he works hard at it. It's a passion of his. And anytime you find people that are passionate about their work, you find good people. And that's what you got with Sterling right there. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by champyschicken.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
No matter the occasion, the Next Round store has you covered with whatever you need. Head over to nextround.store and start filling your cart up now. When you wear your gear, make sure to let us know by posting on socials, and you might just end up seeing yourself during a commercial break. Go browse now at nextround.store and place your order before the break ends.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
We'll get to our 4 downs right after we have this Clayton Kershaw discussion. But before that, I want to remind you that our buddy Greg from Pell City, his daughter Jessica lost a baby here recently. The service was yesterday, and so many of you, when we mentioned it on the air, sent your thoughts and your prayers to Greg and Andrea, the mom, and Jessica and the whole Nelson family. And he wanted to say thank you guys so much for that. He loves the TNR family, overwhelmed with the phone calls and the text, wishing them and offering up the prayers. But in the process, because I give you his cell number, to call for a free no-cost roof inspection. He has asked me to tell you today that if you have reached out over the last 4 or 5 days, to re-text him today, just so it doesn't get lost in the hundreds of people that have reached out offering their prayers to the family. So, again, if you'd like to get that free no-cost roof inspection, or you had some storm damage or something with your roof and you've reached out to Greg in the last few days, please do it again today, just so you don't get lost in all the other prayers and good wishes that have been sent their way. 205-542-3531. 542-3531, Greg from Pell City. And he said the family is getting back up and moving forward with the company today, but really would love you to reach back out today. 205-542-3531, Greg from Pell City there on Facebook, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. All right, Clayton Kershaw hit 3,000 strikeouts over our little 4th of July break. He pitches again tonight against Milwaukee. Dodgers are struggling, but Milwaukee, this future playoff game probably, 6:40 on TBS. Will Clayton Kershaw be the last 3,000 strikeout guy in Major League Baseball? Last one to do it before him was John Smoltz at 3,084. CC Sabathia, 3,093. Then you got Schilling, Bob Gibson, Pedro, Fergie Jenkins, Phil Necro, Maddox got there, Scherzer got there, Verlander got there. Just not a lot. There's only 20 in Major League Baseball history. Will Kershaw be the last one?
Well, I do think Chris Sale, the way he is pitching right now for the Atlanta Braves,
he's next.
If he... the problem is the money these guys make. I mean, how long do you want to pitch until you're 40? Do you want to be Verlander? Do you want to be Kershaw?
And the injuries.
If Chris Sale, and he has battled injuries, if he can have a season like he's having right now and had last year for the next 3 years, he'll get there.
His season high for strikeouts,
he's averaging about 150, isn't he?
308 is his season high. But now he's been way off that pace of late, obviously. But he did have 225 for Atlanta last year.
2,528 is where he is right now. Garrett Cole's at 2,251, both battling injuries.
Okay, but Sale just needs 3 more years.
Yeah, I think Sale
can do it.
Yep.
Because that would be before, what is Sale, 35, 36?
They're mid-30s.
He has,
both of them.
let's see, Sale is, he doesn't have his age here.
No, I got it right here. March 30th, 1989, so he's 36.
He's in season 15, though, Lance. I mean, that's a long way to pitch.
It is, but I mean, you've got to pitch that long to get to 3,000. I think he could, and he could do it before he's 40. So I think Sale's 50-50 whether he gets it done. But after that, I don't know if you see another one.
So he tries like Kershaw to hang on long enough just to get that, because Kershaw will tap out at the end of this year, right?
Yeah, and even like the way, and Kershaw's had a nice year, but the way Sale's a dominant guy right now. So and Forster just pulled the active leaders right there.
Garrett Cole, I mean, he's only pitched 12 years. But he had 222 last year for the Yankees.
Got a long way to go at 34 with that arm.
Yeah,
but maybe.
I think Sale could get there if he really puts his mind to it. And it's not like he's embarrassing himself. He's dragging out there, I mean, the guy's still a dominant, number one.
Scooble's got 796. He's 28 years old.
Scooble's a stud. Yeah. Skeens. I mean, if these guys play 15 years, yeah.
Skeens is a guy they mentioned at 295, already 23 years old. But you never know how injuries work with today's pitching. 4 downs. Brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama today. Stay on top of your health, guys, with our friends at UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Let's do First Down.
First Down.
More total rushing yards. The combination of Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, or former Penn State running back Saquon Barkley.
It's going to be hard for Barkley to have the year he just had, right? Again.
Yeah, but with 17 games, and I don't know how many you'll get with Penn State. You're only guaranteed 12.
Last year, Allen and Singleton had a combined 2,200 rushing yards. I think it'll be about the same this year. That's going to be tough for Saquon to go over 2,000.
I'll go the Penn State duo.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I'll take the Penn State duo.
With Aller back, you don't think they'd throw the ball a little bit more?
Not James Franklin.
Yeah. I probably would take the Penn State duo as well. because I think either one of those guys could be 1,000-yard rusher by themselves, 1,500-yard rusher maybe by themselves. And if Barkley's one guy, so that's one set of knees that could go down. I got 4 knees on the other side.
That's a good point, yeah.
Second down.
Okay, who wins a national championship first? Penn State, or I will give you the entire Big 12 and the entire ACC minus Clemson.
You took away Clemson at the last minute.
Yeah, but I get Miami.
I mean, you get a shit ton of teams.
Yeah,
Penn
Miami,
State, who hasn't won one in 40 years.
I get a bunch of coaches I don't trust, and James Franklin, who I don't trust. So, I mean, I don't trust Mario Cristobal to ever win a national championship.
Do you think
period.
the Big 12 ever wins one?
I do not.
I don't.
Do you think the ACC outside of Clemson ever wins one?
Well, I mean, I've got to go Mario Cristobal, who I don't have faith in winning one. Whoever
takes Florida State over.
Whoever takes Florida State after Norvell. Whoever takes Clemson after Dabo. Well, I don't get Clemson in this no matter what. I guess I'll go James Franklin. Can't believe it, but I will.
I think I'll take Big 12 ACC, but I don't feel good about it.
I would take Penn State, and then I would take Miami or Florida State of the ACC.
Yeah, maybe with a different coach, right?
Big 12 is a no bueno for me.
Yeah.
Third down.
Hall of Fame linebacker Jack Lambert, 73 years old. Would you guys have known he's still alive?
I would not have, no.
Lambert.
The iconic.
Who was the other one? Ham?
Yeah.
Yep.
The iconic Sports Illustrated cover, though, that Lambert.
With no teeth?
Yeah, I mean, he just looked like he had been beaten with a stick, and that was 50 years ago about
I know.
Yeah, and he's still kicking along at 73. But if I asked you, ultimately better career, Jack Lambert or James Franklin?
I mean,
Lambert
Jack Lambert's in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, we just did a quarter of a century team. If we did that,
from 75 to 2000, Lambert would be in the conversation.
They're better athletes now, but for his time, Lambert was that generation's Dick Butkus.
There it is.
Who was
Look at that
before that. Yeah.
Oh, what a great photo. It looks like the Pittsburgh
Hey, what
Steelers.
is the date on that, Forrester? I can't even with my 2015.
Let me guess. I'm going to get 78.
Ooh, it's blurry.
I'd say 81.
I was going to say 78.
Anyway, long time ago, looked rough as hell. The sad reality is these guys didn't make any money back then. And Franklin is crushing it when it comes to
But let me
compensation.
ask you this. Here's what I was going to ask the question in regards to James Franklin. The bar for entry into the College Football Hall of Fame for coaches is pretty low.
Oh, yeah.
So then you think James Franklin makes it in?
Oh, yeah.
He probably will.
But is he
one day be a
deserving?
Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
College
You
Hall
think
of
he's
Famer?
deserving College Football Hall of Fame, James Franklin?
I mean, compared to who?
Well, I mean, compared to the coaches in there, yes. But if you
we
had a College Football Hall of
just
Fame,
fought to get Mike Leach in.
Yeah, I do
Mike
think
had harder jobs and had a bigger impact
no
on the
doubt.
game with his offense, but James Franklin's won more than Mike Leach has.
Trust Franklin, but still, to me, his greatest accomplishment is back-to-back 9-win seasons at Vanderbilt, although he didn't beat anyone.
Yep.
I do think he's a good coach, and he will get in ultimately.
let me just say, I love Mike Leach. If I were doing a College Football Hall of Fame, he would not be in it. My only argument for Leach is, with the guys that are in there, it was insane to keep him out. Yeah. So I think he deserved to be in based on who else was in there. But
I think that's your same argument for James Franklin. Would he be a Hall of Famer if I'm just going by what he's done in his career? If I was going by the standard that I do in the NFL Hall of Fame or the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, no.
Yeah.
But by the standards of college football, basically you got to have a winning record.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
July of 1984 on that cover, by the way.
That was 84. It looks, it looks like the 60s.
So he played in almost halfway through the 80s. Wow.
Nick Saban's roommate.
At Kent State?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Was he really?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe I have embellished that. Maybe they were teammates and I took it to roommate.
I can't argue against you, though.
Yeah. So it was Lambert, not Jack Ham.
So no, Lambert was the one that played with him at Kent State. Would you guys go Lambert, or did we ever get an answer?
Who was I picking against? Lambert or James Franklin? Lambert.
Lambert for
Lambert,
me.
Hall of Famer.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That was the whole reason I brought the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
The late Toby Keith would have been 64 years old. Kevin Bacon, 67. Ultimately better career, Toby Keith or Kevin Bacon?
They call it 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon for a reason.
You're saying Kevin Bacon knows worked with a lot of people, so he's better than Toby Keith?
Yeah. He's had so many projects and has worked with all of the greats.
Here's the thing. I think Kevin Bacon is a little underrated. I've always been a fan. But Toby Keith was a frontline guy for a long time. Kevin Bacon's never been that guy.
I was going to ask you best Kevin Bacon role.
Toby Keith
probably Footloose.
Was a frontline guy. Love his music.
He seemed like a good guy.
I've actually heard he was a very nice guy.
Yep.
Toby Keith. I've heard some stories about him.
Oklahoma Sooner.
Kevin Bacon seems like a good dude.
I love Toby Keith more than I do Kevin Bacon, but I'm gonna say Kevin Bacon.
I think we will probably remember. Like, what is Toby Keith? Red Solo Cup? What's his number one?
Number one is courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Came out after 9/11.
Putting a boot in your ass. It's the American way.
You may have blackened our eye, but
that one gets played like, I mean, when the United States bombed Iran, that song came back.
Now, I know ultimately the Dixie Chicks did this to themselves, but was it Toby Keith the one that really pointed it out that ultimately kind of killed their career?
Did he start that?
He did.
I think they got sideways.
He did say
they're just the chicks now.
They are.
He was
no
he's a big patriotic guy, and I think he just spoke out and it caught fire. From there.
I did not remember Toby Keith started all that.
Should have been a Cowboy is probably his best song.
How do you like me now?
Yep.
Hey, he's got
I think As Good As I Once Was is really good.
That's a good song too.
I think I would have to go Toby Keith.
A Beer for My Horses.
I'd never liked that. I thought that was he and Willie. I always thought that was kind of a hokey song. Honestly.
How Do You Like Me Now? How many of that did we sing to girls back in the day? Red Solo Cup, Made in America.
I think How Do You Like Me Now? How Do You Like Me Now is my favorite he did.
Oh, I Love This Bar is really good too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. Who's Your Daddy? Not bad.
Keith publicly criticized the Dixie Chicks, calling them unpatriotic, using imagery during his concerts to compare Natalie Maines to Saddam Hussein.
That's probably a bit over the top.
Do you think?
I maybe took it a step too far there, Tobe.
Yeah, Natalie Maines, which one was she?
She was the lead singer. She was the lead singer. She was the one that said it. She was the one that said it, and it drug the whole band down.
Yep.
But they had a cross-eyed fiddle player, right?
I don't know about that.
Those were sisters.
Sure. Why not?
I think they did.
The guitarist and the fiddle player.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is our Four Downs today. Brought to you in part by our friends at Champy's that bring you the show every day in the final hour of the show, champyschicken.com. I'll save that for tomorrow. Keldrick Falk of Auburn sent out a picture of his shoes. Nike shoes, of course. Cleats for the upcoming season.
Do you have the shoe size? I'm going to guess a 14.
I would go 16.
16?
It did not have a shoe size, but those are good-looking shoes if you're an Auburn fan or Syracuse fan, but Auburn fan in this case. Only brand I ever wore from the time I was a kid. Just being in that brand and seeing it on the Auburn jersey is cool. Keldrick Falk, future NFL player. One more year at Auburn there.
You think we'll be dead and buried by the time the contract snaps with Nike and Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to go away from it now.
Well, I tell you, Adidas is swinging back around to some schools and making a big push.
Adidas cannot do good-looking uniforms. That is their fault. You give me any Adidas school in football, their uniforms suck.
You're going by Texas A&M and Mississippi State.
Well, I mean, those are two examples.
UCLA,
Louisville.
Tennessee, Nebraska.
UCLA is unbelievable uniforms. Nebraska is a good uniform.
Well, I'm just saying the Adidas, the logo kind of jacks it up a little bit.
He always
their gear's bad.
You always see. I disagree. I love Adidas shoes.
Adidas gear is bad.
Their gear looks better on a traditional soccer jersey. Like
it is
has
more
like the sash stripe.
more soccer, more women.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pretend I play golf with a guy who likes Adidas as well. Maybe an Adidas rep.
Their golf stuff's great.
Who listens to our show every day.
No, their golf stuff's fine.
Well, he apparently doesn't give you any because you don't wear any Adidas.
He doesn't give me any.
No, their golf stuff's great. It's their college football stuff.
I just think I think that gets portrayed because you're picking the two worst looking color schemes and logos there are in sports.
State and A&M?
The Texas A&M logo and the Mississippi State logos are horrible logos.
Well, State can't find one.
And they're horrible colors.
Yeah. State has tried them all.
I mean, you give that to Nike, you give that to anybody, those uniforms are going to look
It'd look a little better with the swoosh.
State needs to stick with gray pants, maroon shirts.
See, you went straight from Texas A&M and Mississippi State, you went straight to where? You went straight
Lance
to
went
UCLA,
which I forgot about.
Great uniform.
But they didn't create that one.
Great uniform.
They just took it over, and UCLA's like, you're going to do the same thing that Nike was doing.
Yeah, and Nebraska, great uniform.
And that's the same
and
thing.
Tennessee, great uniform.
Yeah,
but
Tennessee.
I do think
Tennessee's a Nike school, I think.
Well, it was Adidas.
They were Adidas. Yeah.
Wisconsin was Adidas.
Yeah. Somebody just went back to Adidas or went to Adidas. It was
I
a
can't
pretty
remember.
big school.
Rutgers?
I thought it might be Tennessee.
Yeah.
Have you seen that anywhere? Tennessee and Adidas?
No, yeah. I mean, I did see where a major school went back to Adidas within the last 30 days.
Yeah, I saw that too. Last 30 days.
Here you go. College football Adidas schools. Texas A&M.
I'll give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Miami.
That's
a polarizing uniform.
Miami's got a bad uniform no matter who does it.
The Miami Hurricanes?
Yeah, that's a terrible
It's
uniform.
a
You like that
fantastic
uniform?
That
Yes.
is an
awful
The
uniform.
Miami Hurricanes?
Yes.
I like the uniform,
helmet,
but the
logo?
colors are pretty bad.
No, terrible.
The green uniform?
Keep going.
Okay, Kansas.
I mean, it's football.
Washington.
Washington's good.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech. The throwback Georgia Tech.
Yeah, throwback
great
Georgia
uniform.
Tech.
Georgia Tech's
it's
a great
great.
uniform.
It's good.
Indiana.
I don't really like their uniform, no.
Yeah,
Louisville.
It's as good as it can be with Indiana football.
Okay. Louisville, no, terrible.
It's a
NC
great
State.
college football uniform.
NC State's bad.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, they didn't see. They took over for somebody else, and Nebraska's like, we're Nebraska,
How do
we're
you
not
know
changing
that?
our uniform.
How do you know that?
Because it was what it was years before.
How do you know it wasn't Adidas?
That said, we're not changing it?
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
How do you
Good
know it was
choice, official.
Adidas? It wasn't Adidas when they took. How do you know it hasn't been Adidas since Bob Devaney?
Because I know. I used to watch them. They
Okay,
weren't Adidas.
so
How do you know?
I watched them.
They never
They
have
the
logos.
logo.
They never have logos on
Okay, go
jerseys.
ahead.
There are 68 Nike schools in the FBS. There are 31 Adidas schools, which is a little surprising. They got half now, so that's roughly 100. I don't know what the rest are made up of. I will tell you this:
Some were Under Armour that are losing.
you guys remember the '82 classic, All the Right Moves, with Tom Cruise and Chris Penn and Leah Thompson, Craig T.
I
Nelson?
liked Leah Thompson back in the day.
So me and Jack watched that over the 4th of July.
How come he can like Leah Thompson back then?
Leah Thompson was hot.
In All the Right Moves.
Huh? I've never seen All the Right
Yeah,
Moves.
yeah.
I'm just saying Leah Thompson was hot back in the day.
Yeah, I thought Leah Thompson was pretty cute.
Yeah.
What?
I thought she was cute too, but I mean, she was Steffi Graf cute in that movie.
Oh my gosh!
No.
No,
No.
Leah
No.
Thompson and Steffi
No.
Graf? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Leah Thompson. They made her kind of look bad in Back to the Future because she had to play the mom.
Right.
So they put her in a fat suit.
Yeah.
But I thought Leah Thompson was pretty cute. Anyway, my point was going to be, because I was talking to somebody involved in Russell down at the lake, and how prevalent Russell uniforms used to be.
They had the entire Major League Baseball contract.
Dude, the Ambeth or whatever the name of the fictional high school was, they all had Russell gear on.
No, Russell was everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Alabama and Auburn, obviously, in this state.
Was that what it was?
Ampipe. How do you remember that? Do you remember the mascot?
It was the
Jack asked me. It was a real animal, and he was like, "Is that thing on drugs?" Because the eyes were so red, and beat up.
No, I don't remember.
It was a bulldog.
A bulldog.
Yeah.
Oh, they were Ampipe.
We probably should just hold trash to tomorrow. Keep it the same. Cool with
Oh,
you?
I was killing time.
Why?
I forgot about trash.
Yeah.
No, let's do
We
it.
got 4 downs in trash.
dude. I mean, this is going to take. Yeah, let's
Okay,
just wait.
we'll save it?
Yeah.
Okay. Trash brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light, Adams Beverage, we appreciate them so much. I'd forgotten about trash because we did 4 downs.
Is that one of the better?
Because I'd forgotten about 4 downs earlier because I'd forgotten Forrester's birthday yesterday.
I think one thing that we do all agree on is sports movies are traditionally bad.
I don't generally like sports movies, no.
That was an unrealistic rain scene in that game.
Well,
Unrealistic.
it came out of nowhere. And what was really unrealistic is Craig T. Nelson didn't take a knee. Okay, so scenario.
Okay, give it to me. I've never seen All the Right Moves.
Okay, so it's 14-10.
You've never seen All the Right Moves?
I have not.
Boy, I saw it in the theaters, and it really made you always worry about teen pregnancy.
Teen pregnancy,
okay, and it shows you how much the face mask was used by a coach back in the day.
Yes.
Okay, so Ampipe is playing
their rivals,
something Heights, and they haven't beaten them in years and years and years.
We'll just call them Hoover.
So they're traveling there Friday night. They got the caravan. They get there. Tom Cruise's character, picks off a pass, takes it back to the house with 3 and change left. So they go 14-10.
All right,
with a chance to get a scholarship now to leave and not work at the mine.
That's right.
The pipe factory.
Everybody wanted out, even the coach.
Whatever you do, you get yourself out of here, son. Don't you go down
so
this
he
mine.
takes it to the house, man. 14-10. 3 minutes to go.
Okay.
And he may be going to UCLA.
Other team gets the ball back.
They take over. They've got a running back that reminds you of Cam Scattaboo. Big white guy, and he's rumbling for like 15 a carry.
Probably wearing a neck roll.
He gets it inside the 30. 2 minutes left. It starts pouring out of nowhere.
Okay. Got a rainstorm.
He's a guy that is
Cloud seeding,
good with the
probably.
ladies.
Right.
He, too, has a chance to go probably play at Penn State.
On the other team. He's on the other team.
No, he's on our...
On Empire.
No, he's on the other team, the running back.
Okay.
Now, Chris Penn, who has got a verbal with USC, ends up knocking up his girlfriend. He's the middle linebacker, so he ends up staying in Empire.
So he's got a lot on his brain in this movie.
Okay, so they creep down. It gets under a minute. They got first and goal.
First and goal. We got clock ticking, and they're down 4.
They're down 4.
Okay.
So it gets down to 4th and goal at the 1 with, I think there was like 19 seconds.
Okay.
They stop them.
Yeah, great.
So Empire, they go nuts. They take over with 6 or 7 seconds to go.
Other teams out of timeouts, I presume.
They're out of timeouts.
All we got to do is run it up the middle once we win.
Well, they try to run it up the middle, but they hand off.
The smart play is probably run around to the back of the end zone and take a safety.
That's what I would have done. I was like, you got to take a safety here, Craig T. Or you do at least a quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Try to do something safe with the ball that wet. He turns around, hands it to tailback in the 2-hole. Ball pops out.
Yep. One thing you do not do is hand it off right there. You either
Yeah.
quarterback sneak or tell your quarterback. You tell everybody on the field to hold. All right? Get a holding penalty. And you tell your quarterback, run around as long as you can, but get it out of the back of the end zone.
running back, he comes in the locker room, the running back's bawling, crying, and Craig T blames the running back. And then Tom Cruise steps it up.
Yeah.
You're to blame.
You're the man, old man.
Tom Cruise plays the role of Jim Dunaway, steps up and says, wait a second. It's we, not me.
But I was going to bring that up. That is one of the better football movies. It's a little cheesy, but it's one of the better ones.
I don't like the ending already.
I loved it. Their girl played alto sax and didn't mind skipping the pep rally to go strip off.
She did.
Leah Thompson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's full frontal in the movie.
Is she now?
And you don't have to feel guilty because she plays a high school student, but she's not.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was on Animal Kingdom, this 16-year-old girl.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, Jennifer, I've at least got to Google to see how old she was in this role because she's playing 16.
Yeah, that scene's about 18 minutes and 30 seconds in, Brown. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Somebody fact check that.
Mr. Skin.
Okay, we'll do another movie tomorrow instead of trash all week long. Instead of trash, LT's going to tell us movie plots, redescribe the movies. Gets kicked off the bus. Tom Cruise does.
Never got on the bus. Yeah,
has to ride back with fans.
Son, what are you doing? No, you're going to ride back with the cheerleaders.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach.
That's what Jack said out loud. He's like, that's a pretty good option for him.
It really was not punishment. Yeah.
He ends up in the back of a truck drinking beer.
No, Cadillac.
Oh, back of the Cadillac. Yeah. They go through some signs.
Bosco's Cadillac.
Coach gets out though.
They hang a dead cat from the coach's front porch.
Jeez.
Is that a little much?
That is a bit much. This movie's something
Got a
else.
satanic, isn't it?
Yes.
Tough town. It was his cat, Brown.
Oh. Coach's cat? They killed it?
Okay. Too far. That's a joke.
I think they did.
It was the coach's cat, you think?
I mean, 2 cats got killed in that movie. Coach's cat and Leah Thompson's.
Not trying to be that guy, but the outro song's only got about 10 seconds
Oh,
left.
sorry.
Way to go, Dunaway. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.